Hello there, I'm Ryan Sliwinski.
Hi listening people, I'm Bartek.
Yes, listening people, and I'm Ryan. And this is Spit and Polish presents Unappreciated Masterpieces. We're Spit and Polish, likingly because we're always spitting, and we both happen to be Polish. And Bartek, what's our goal here? What do we do on Unappreciated Masterpieces?
We spit on... No, sorry, that's our name. We watch them, and then we talk about them, and we want you to watch them so that they'll be watched.
Is that it? Yeah, I think that's our goal. Yeah, that, and we find like the most forgotten, underappreciated masterpieces of all time, and then we present them to you. A series of films. I mean, we've got a good back catalogue now of films, but there's always more films to be done. And what's the film we're doing today?
Today's film that we are watching today on Spit and Polish today is Bandslam.
I do not speak Polish. I do not know what you said. What are we watching?
Ryan, you do this every week. You tell me that you don't speak Polish when we're called Spit and Polish. Why don't you learn Polish?
It's hard.
Oh yeah, that's fair enough. It's one of the hardest languages. The movie Bandslam is in English Bandslam.
Oh, Bandslam!
Yeah.
One of my favourite movies of all time. I mean,
Yeah.
I only watched it for the first time for this specific show.
And you watched it twice, but we'll get into that later. But
Yeah.
you know what? Two of us, I don't know if we can tackle it just by ourselves.
Once, twice, 3 times a lady. That's right. We're joined with a female presence this episode, the lovely Bek Schroder.
You called me a lady.
Yep, a lady.
I
mean,
ever get lady in, excuse me, young lady.
the
The amount of times I get that, I swear I am the youngest lady. Anyway.
youngest
Hi
lady.
guys, I'm Beck.
Yes, the lovely Beck is joining us. Of course, we know Beck from our university experience, of course. And I just was like, yes, I need to have Beck on this show at some point. And it's that thing where it's like, what movie will match? And this was a different one because this is the choice in which this wasn't in my giant list. I have a giant list of movies. And this was like the first one in which it was, you know, a kind of an event that happened in the real world that's kind of like, oh, this is the reason why we should do this movie, which is, of course, the unfortunate passing of David Bowie. David Bowie, one of the best musicians ever, guys?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
They've just dedicated...
Bartek doesn't know.
No, don't you? They've just dedicated a constellation to this man.
Yeah.
Star man, actually, officially star man.
He's a star man.
I haven't said anything.
You were like, which means you weren't too sure about him being the greatest artist.
I was gonna say I didn't really follow him that much, but what I did know of him I really liked.
Yeah, that's a good thing about Bowie. It's like that thing where it's like, hey, some people may not know what he looks like and may not know his name, but at some point you've heard a song of his. His body of work is so large in which you have heard a song of his. You may have heard Heroes in, say, Moulin Rouge, or you may have heard, you know, Ashes to Ashes or Ground Control Damage, all this stuff. Large body of work, and that's why we had to do Bandslam, because obviously David Bowie is a prominent feature in this movie. He is what the main character aspires to be. He wants to be David Bowie kind of thing. He loves David Bowie, and of course, this is Bowie's last film he ever did. Bowie is in this movie as himself, and the fact that Bowie's death, reverberated around into many things, including into our show, in which I had to be like, no, Beck and I were talking, it's like, no, we should do a Bowie movie. And I was like, well, there's only one Bowie movie I can think of that's unappreciated, and that's Bandslam. Because I was thinking, what Bowie movie's unappreciated? Labyrinth? Pfft, no, everyone knows Labyrinth.
Everyone knows and is terrified by Labyrinth.
Zoolander? No, everyone knows Zoolander. I mean,
I thought he was in that.
Yeah, The Last Temptation of Christ? Pfft, of course. Everyone remembers him in that. And on the list goes. And it was just like, what's the one? And I'm like, Bandslam, of course. Because obviously the thing about Bandslam is, it is such an innovative film that people just couldn't handle the brilliance that is this movie. And as I said earlier, Bartek, this is I do believe, the proper first movie in the entire, list that we've done where I had never seen it before doing this. I went in completely blind to this. Did you?
Yeah, I think I might have seen the poster at some point, but that's about it.
Yeah, the only thing I knew about it, I hadn't even known Vanessa Hudgens was in it or anyone. All I knew was, I know David Bowie's in it at the end. Like, all I knew was, the main guy loved David Bowie, and then David Bowie's in it. Like, that's all I knew about the story was, David Bowie's in it.
See, I didn't know that. The movie started, he said, "Dear David Bowie." I'm like, so this is why Ryan picked the movie.
Yeah, no, one of the many reasons. That is what we're going to get into. We're going to get into the nitty-gritty of the classic movie that is Bandslam. So prepare whatever, media that you have this playing on, DVD, streaming, whatever, because we're going to be starting this great masterpiece in 3, 2, 1, play. Yes. Now, Bartek.
That's me.
Bartek.
That's me.
What did you think of the film when you had to go in blind? Like, you're like, this is why Ryan chose it. But, like, if you just had to give us some, like, this obviously isn't directed towards us now at this age. This is more for, like, young adults.
Yeah. And to be fair...
And we're old adults.
When this movie came out, you and I would have been in year 10, so, like...
Yeah, this was made in 2009.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I was in year 11 this year.
Jesus.
Yeah, so this would be like us in the future, like 1 or 2 years from then onwards.
Right.
When we watch this.
Yeah. Crowd's cheering already. So yeah, what did you think of watching a movie that isn't necessarily directed towards us now at this age? Like, this is obviously for what would have been us back in 2009.
It would have been for a certain crowd that we knew back in 2009 for sure.
Oh yeah, the High School Musical fandom.
The High School Musical fandom, yeah.
It's not nearly as musical as High School Musical, but that's the thing I love about it. It's when I look. There's that thing, Bartek and Beck, in which I worried. I read the plot synopsis beforehand, which I know I shouldn't necessarily do. I like to go in blind some of the times, even if I've seen the movie before. I read it and I'm like, well, somebody watched School of Rock. That's what my immediate thought was, because it was like the synopsis is like, young kids start a band and enter like the band competition, and I'm like, well, that's a lot of stories. But think, like 2, 3, like maybe 4 years before this, School of Rock came out.
Musical version of the Karate Kid, yeah.
Have you read the reviews?
No,
oh my god!
I don't read them so that you can read them here, and I'll get them blind.
Everyone, just remember that Bartek mentioned Karate Kid, because that's gonna be poignant later on.
Oh wow.
So, Beck, what are you thinking of this whole experience? When you see a bunch of white guys with $2,000 dreadlock extensions, did you know people like that?
No, never.
She was one of them, I imagine.
Not in university, not at all. No, I wasn't one of them. I had expensive hair. Oh, who's this thug?
Yeah, I think
That's pretty savage.
Don't call him a thug. You said I'm sorry.
I think Dewey's pretty savage to call him.
He's already calling him Dewey this early on in the film.
Like, it's so mean. And this is the best part. Like,
what a bump to the head.
Where was he keeping that as well, might I add? Like we just
winter.
like yeah, it's clearly like wintertime. It's miserable. Okay, this is
some things are best left unanswered.
Have you guys watched Freaks and Geeks?
Nah.
No.
Okay. Have you watched Bones?
Nah.
As in Bones, as in
the TV show Bones.
I know Bones, the animation.
There's that one guy who's from Freaks and Geeks and Bones, and he always gives like this surly facial expression, like this guy does. Like he's always like, yeah, like, oh, I'm so pissed off. Like,
I know that
yeah,
guy.
he looks exactly like him, mixed with Miles Teller.
Yeah,
like it's like with no chin, like just no chin. And of course,
hey, I've got a joke.
Your joke.
Yeah.
But go on.
You know this mum and this son. It's like they're friends.
Oh, I get it, because she was in, the Romy movie, the High School Reunion.
She was in Seinfeld.
Yeah. So, of course, we're talking about the amazing actress, what's it? Lisa...
I don't know, I haven't watched Friends.
Lisa Kudrow.
Do we have, like, other than a musical sort of... a hint at a musical career at the end of this film, do you think this guy would go on to do something as great as, say... making or inventing post-its?
Yeah, I think so. I think that is exactly where he's going to go. Now, here's one of the amazing things I love about this movie is, I know we talked through it just now, but I want to go back to that scene in which it was, I like the way that he talks to his mother, because I know for a fact I wouldn't talk to my mother like that. Bartek, would you talk to your mother like how he does in this movie?
I wouldn't be a lame-o like him.
What do you mean? He's cool. He's got a camera. He's listening to ska music,
Look,
which is
right.
kind of like
Singing
reggae.
in the car with his mum. Not a lot of teenage kids do this.
Dude.
Yeah,
Right,
I mean, you
look-
did though, Beck, didn't you? I imagine that you were a
Absolutely not.
singer with your mum.
No,
No?
I wasn't actually friends with my mum when we were the age that this guy is.
Oh, but I can just imagine you in the car singing along with one of your parents.
I've always been buddies with my mama. We saw the movie Reverend. She kept going, ooh, and I'm like, yeah.
That
Well,
sounded sexual
I've
to me.
only
I
ever
don't know
sung
why.
in the car with my parents when Bohemian Rhapsody comes
Well,
on.
that's okay.
And then it's usually just me being absolutely both embarrassed and just hysterically laughing.
Are you a good singer?
At, am I a good singer?
Yeah.
I don't know. No?
Do you sing?
Yes.
Yes?
Yes.
There you go. You're
I've
better
had a
singer
lot
than
of
me.
training, and I try to be very modest and humble about being okay. I'm
and that's
okay.
why you're on this podcast. Because we're all about
Subtle callback.
Subtle callback to that no matter where you go, there's people who like to play with their hair, with their
Yeah.
hands.
Long hair,
Yeah.
greasy hair.
There's always a girl in a rainbowy, way outdated scarf.
Yeah.
In every high school movie, there's a
And every-
girl with this scarf that she seems to have had for a million years.
You know, it's because Hollywood and like every studio only has like a certain limited amount of costumes and
Costume,
props. Like, have you seen that thing where it's like Ed O'Neill, the grandfather from
she is,
they're
Vanessa Hudgens.
yeah, I got her mixed up with Selena Gomez throughout this movie.
So I do that all the time.
And I was like, oh,
Black
so
hair,
when I'm like,
something.
oh, is she dating Bieber by this point? It's like, no, it's Efron. I'm like, I'm sorry, I don't know who's who. But no, have you seen the thing where it's like Ed O'Neill is, he's in Modern Family as the grandfather or like the father. I can't remember the character's name.
I'll take your word for it.
And it's like him now reading this newspaper, and then it was him in the TV show Married with Children, which is like 20 years before, and it's the same newspaper. Like, it's the exact same newspaper with like the same stories like on the cover. And it's just like Ed O'Neill's been reading that paper for like 20 years.
Hold on, I'm sorry that I'm bringing up something that's not entirely in the movie. It's about the subtitles.
Yeah.
You know how in the subtitles they mention a character's name and then like the line they say?
Yeah.
I think they keep adding a capital I at the end of all the names.
No, I think it's just an L, actually.
Lowercase L?
Look, boy, there's nothing wrong with that one.
Oh, well now
Bartek just-
eggs on my face, I'm
I
wrong.
want to know why at the back of their stage
Is boxes?
a heap of archive boxes.
That's
What's
what
that
I
about?
was wondering when I
Don't
was
you
watching
have a
it.
basement in this school?
Well, it's the cafeteria, but here's the thing. What cafeteria?
It has
Look,
a
my school
stage
didn't
in
have a
it. This
cafeteria.
school is weird.
My school didn't have a cafeteria, but what cafeteria also has like archive boxes for any of the kids to go
I
through and
feel
be
like
like,
that's meant
oh,
to be
they're
three
records.
separate parts of
the school.
campus. The archive sort of area, storage.
Yeah, which is right near the
stage
cafeteria.
where announcements are made, and then the cafeteria.
Look at her, she's about to jizz her pants.
Wow, yeah.
And then I jizzed in my pants, yeah. Was jizz in my pants around 2009?
Oh, man, I've been doing it forever.
Oh,
There's a
Yeah.
funny joke for you guys.
Yeah. So here's Sam spelt with a 5.
It's survivum.
The 5 is silent.
SA5M.
D is silent.
Yeah, so
Thanks, Mum and Dad.
yeah, look, Benny.
Benny.
Benny. Oh, it's Ben / isn't it?
Yes. So we're just looking at subtitles for those of you who's sitting at home being like, "What's
So
happening?"
this part right here, when I watched it, I thought because she didn't answer him.
Yeah.
She
I
just
thought
started
she
writing-
forgot her own number or something.
I thought she was gonna like write a sick Polish name like mine, but no, it was just Survivum.
Survivum.
That's it.
No.
That's it from now on,
Can I talk about the boyfriend bully
You
character?
can do it.
Okay, look, the boyfriend bully character who's the head of the other band, which is, what was it, Glory Dogs?
Something in the Glory Dogs.
No, yeah, Ben, whatever, and the Glory Dogs. Out of all the bully characters we've done on this show, Beck, you're not as familiar with our show as you could be, but a lot of movies that we do on this show somehow have a bully character in it, because obviously a lot of them involve school, and school movies can't not have bullies.
Absolutely.
This bully character is fascinating to me, Bartek, because I just
Same.
find him very multi-layered, because he seems
Same.
like he's a genuine person. Like, out of all the bullies we've done, he seems the most genuine because he's got that dickhead asshole, like, I'm gonna pick on you, I'm gonna find out your secret backstory because I'm an asshole. But then he really does care about this band, and he's like really nice to them, and like,
and he gets no comeuppance at all.
yeah, and he gets no comeuppance.
They get along at the end.
Yeah, they get it, and like she gets back with him at the end.
Yeah,
and it's just this thing,
and they just forget about the trauma that he inflicted
like
on him.
It's so like high school though. Like I'm better friends now with the
the
guys
bullies.
who locked me in cupboards and called me mean names in high school
Than your friends.
than I am with the people that I thought were my friends back then.
Yeah, there's a name for that, Stockholm syndrome. Yeah.
Funny that Beauty and the Beast has always been my favourite Disney film. Now I know why.
Yeah.
I went to an old guy school. We were all fine.
They just played the Polish sausage, yeah.
We just high-fived, had sex. And...
So they high-five by sexing. Okay, I wrote for this scene, alright? Like, I get the scenes... Look, this is an unappreciated masterpiece, of course. There's some scenes that you have to question. This scene was one where it's like, okay, they're doing this... What is this? Weird school project where you have to buddy up and get to know the other person as well as possible.
Which leads to a fantastic scene later.
And she makes a point in this scene that she used to have a stutter. That, like, never plays into it ever again. But it's like this thing in which it's like, I get it, they're trying to build up that these two have a possible romance building up. But it's also like, I wrote for the scene... What was the point? Like, what was the point?
Yeah, and
that's a good thing, because sometimes you need scenes that just have no point.
Yeah, and actually for this second quarter, Survivum's not really in it much.
No, she's barely in this movie, Vanessa Hudgens. Okay, see, look.
Until a certain point.
Here's the bully, right? We just saw him. He knocked over the cello girl, and he was willing to help her, but she didn't want his help.
No.
See, it's hard to be a bully.
Was that him?
The
was that
cello
him?
girl, wasn't this character originally meant to be a cello guy, and that's who the main character auditioned for?
Yeah.
And then he got given the lead role.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's...
Gee, imagine getting that phone call. Sorry, you didn't get it, but we want you to be the lead.
Yeah, we want you to be... Mars Teller dropped out. We want you to be in this movie. Yeah, Michael Cera dropped out. Yeah, we want you to be... Okay.
Michael Cera?
Yeah.
Oh, I read that someone else got the right. I didn't know it was Michael Cera.
No, I'm joking. Here's something I often asked in this movie. Who talks like this? Like, she just comes up to him and is like, do you like kids?
Are
Yeah,
you
you
a
like
good Samaritan?
kids. Yeah, you're a
Like,
good
who
Samaritan.
flat out says that.
Normal film characters. That's a
like
good...
you're
This
Glue.
whole movie
in
was...
this in the credits, that kid's called Glue Boy, and I remembered who it was because I'm
Glue
like, it's the
Boy.
guy eating glue, and she feeds him beef jerky for some reason. Don't know why. What happens if one of them's vegetarian? Terrible.
I feel like they've kind of... Like, is this... they've kind of tried to have, like, little quirky things.
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
you know
yeah,
how
yeah.
you watch, say, Juno or
Yeah.
something like that? and
I
there's
often
little
regarded
quirky
this as
things.
Perks of a Wallflower, but High School Musical style.
Yeah, okay.
You know, like...
Except Perks of Being a Wallflower is a lot about mental health, and I feel like
this
it's
drops
about
that.
mental teenagers.
Well, no, they go through mental health problem stuff too,
Okay.
because think about it. This guy's being called Dewey.
Yeah, that's true.
And she's also going through this whole sub-story that's kind of there, but kind of not there about her father dying, which is interesting. Like, it's not Perks of Being a Wallflower. Watch that movie and watch this one back to back. That's my
Holt.
best suggestion.
She just said Holt.
Who says this?
This is
But
very strange.
I like her character a lot because there's that thing in which her and Vanessa Hudgens are different degrees of the typical trope that is the kind of manic pixie dream girl-esque thing in which it's like, oh, they're a bit strange and oh boy, like, you know, Vanessa Survivum is on their spectrum more towards the Jane Daria kind of end where they're like, I have no emotions, and this chick's on the other end where she's kind of more on the High School Musical.
Yeah, absolutely. This chick is like, look at me, I'm killing it in high school.
I've got a Wikipedia
Survivum
page.
is like, wait till I get to uni, then I will blossom.
I can't believe this girl has a Wikipedia page. Like, that's the part of the story is the blonde one has a Wikipedia page and he looks her up on Wikipedia.
Yeah, that was such like a big wow thing, but I completely forgot about it.
This dog is so cute.
Oh, yeah,
I'm just
I like...
fangirling over the dog right now. Hello.
He's probably dead by now.
Oh, darn.
Do you ever watch movies where you see cute dogs
And you're like, about the dogs than
like dogs and animals, and you're like, oh, they're dead now?
Oh, no,
Or
I
do
don't,
you ever watch
actually.
old sitcoms, like, and you hear the laughter, and they're like, that's the sound of dead people laughing in the distance? Yeah.
Ryan, you're ruining TV experience for me now.
Yeah, so talking about death, this movie's full of it. Okay, like it's full of death thing because you got this one, single parent situation going on, and they're not on purposely saying what happened.
Yeah.
And that's always a sign that it's death. You know what I mean? And then like the other chick's all about death. But one of the things, Bartek, is
Tell me.
what do you think the main theme of this movie is?
The main theme of this movie?
Yeah, like what's the theme it's trying to get across?
You live.
Is that it?
Yeah, you're alive and then things happen.
What about you, Beck? What do you think a theme of, like, the theme or a theme of this movie could be?
I just keep getting this word manipulation.
Go on.
Well, like, I don't know, everyone's just going after what they want. Like this manic pixie blondie girl.
Yeah. So, like...
everything that she does is because she's trying to somehow... I don't know, convince the universe that she deserves to keep her.
It's like having relationships with ulterior motives. Like,
Yeah.
What I was going to say is, and this is a genuine answer, and the film is very, very multi-layered. It is a wonderfully constructed film because the answer of the theme is right there smack in front of you. And the answer is change.
Yeah.
You know why, Bartek?
You live and things happen. That's what I said.
No, yeah, but you didn't actually say the specific thing, change. And the actual word change is important because you know why?
Changes.
Exactly. The theme of his phone when it rings is Changes by David Bowie. And Bowie is very much about change. A part of David Bowie's brilliance is the fact that he could change so quickly and so efficiently with just what seems like little amount of ease. And during the teenage years, it's all about change. It's all about change. And she's going through a change. He's going through a change. Fucking Vanessa Hudgens is going through a change. It's all about change. But the film is so subtle with it, where they're like, what's Bowie about? Change. Well, of course, we should use changes. That's the brilliance of this film. It actually knocked me back in my seat when I'm like, of course!
And the antagonist, he doesn't really change much, does he?
Well, the thing about the antagonist is, in most part, he was doing the typical kind of good antagonist, which is he was doing it from a good place, which is like, spoiler alert, at the end of the movie, he plays their song. Right?
Yeah, he steals it.
But he doesn't steal it. That was the main point. He didn't, steal it. He used to play that song for her when she was really upset.
Oh, so he didn't know that they were going to play that
He didn't
song.
know. He didn't know. Because they used
But
to...
hold on, didn't he say that he wrote it?
No. He said this is a song for such and such. I can't remember if he said he wrote it. But the problem is, she realized, oh shit, he didn't on purposely steal the song. He was playing it to get her back. That's probably not even the best song that they have in their catalog to win the competition. But he, in his brain, went, okay, I'm going to use this Bandslam thing to try and win back my girlfriend by playing the song that I know that she loves.
Okay.
And in his brain, that's a noble thing. And I gotta go, wow, this villain is actually kind of wow.
Okay,
I feel for this guy.
I know, I just could have sworn he said that he wrote it, and that was the kind of clinching point, oh, he's doing a bad thing.
No, the bad thing is he's playing their song, and you're like, oh, this guy's an asshole. He's gonna play it, knowing that they're gonna play it, but he didn't know that they were gonna play it at all. That's the best part. That is the best part of this movie, is the fact that the douche is actually a nice guy douche.
Not so douchey.
He didn't realize that he... Well, I mean,
Yeah.
obviously some things he did
Yeah, some things he did on purpose. There's that scene later on where he's talking to his cronies.
and they're like, dude, what the hell are you talking about?
He's like, you guys get recon. He's like, we don't work for you. Who are you? And I'm just like, I pissed myself laughing.
So,
Okay.
here we have the character with the glasses. His name is Bug.
Which is a reference to A Bug's Life.
Yes.
I thought so...
His actor is the only actor that actually went to high school during the filming of this movie.
Really?
Yeah, and in the Wikipedia trivia thing, they mention that, and then way later, they have a point that in the graduation scene at the end of this movie, they pointed out that he went to this graduation before his own one.
Ah, that's cute.
That is cute.
No, in this, his name's Bug, and they make a reference to Flea, which is Red Hot Chili Peppers, of course, and he's like, you're wanting to be Flea. It's like, I don't even like Flea. It's like, what's your name? Bug. And it's like, oh, I get it. But I wasn't like at 100% paying attention during that moment, and I thought his name was Bug because I just looked at his lips. I'm like, his lips look like there's a bunch of caterpillars all over them because he's got these massive ass lips.
He kind of looks like a teenage Mike Myers.
Yeah. He looks like a teenage, like Mike Myers, Austin Powers,
Yeah,
or
that's
Mike
what
Myers,
I'm
the
thinking.
killer.
I'm just waiting for him to be like, do I make you Randy, baby? Like,
Yeah,
you know.
yeah.
he's-
I like
Look
the
at his little
Like
hand
in
thing going on there.
Like in Goldmember.
talking about fake English accents.
Us.
No, the English, the what's his name? The other guy there,
I don't know his name.
the Asian guy. He's got like this British accent throughout the movie, and the other guy calls him out. It's like, you're from New Jersey or something or other. It's like, what kind of accent is that? And he's like, leave me alone.
Nobody in this movie has a New Jersey accent.
New Jersey boys.
And I know it's filmed in Texas, but yeah.
Texas. So, okay, here's the question. You know, I've got to ask.
Ask
Bartek.
Ask me.
Bek.
That's my name. That's Bek.
Who's more attractive, the blonde chick or Sapphire?
I like Sapphire.
Like, who's the hotter one?
I like Sapphire.
Okay, Bartek's Hudgens. What about you, Bek? If you had to pick.
I think I'd go for Hudgens as well.
Really? Okay, I'm in the minority. I thought the blonde one was pretty attractive. I was just like, yeah, I like the blonde one.
You just like her because she has a Wikipedia page.
Yeah, I looked at a
that's it.
Wikipedia page. I think it's also because she's in the movie. Like,
Yeah, she's
Oh
almost...
yeah, like
I read an argument somewhere that like she's almost the main character.
she kind of is. And why I don't think Vanessa Hudgens is great either, necessarily, is, I don't know, I find Vanessa Hudgens attractive now, but I don't think that she's that attractive then, in this movie. But maybe it's just because I'm like, I don't care. But I like this chick. And there's that male thing in me, because there is a scene later on where I remember they're at a nightclub or something, and she's like wearing a white singlet. I'm like, she looks very attractive in this white singlet. And then for the rest of the movie, she's like in red, because red means scarlet.
Mine was a lot more tame. I saw Vanessa Hudgens smile. I'm like, that's a nice smile.
Oh, Bartek's so innocent. He's like, I like the smile.
Yeah, in the scene where he's playing the video he made and she smiles, he's like, oh, look at her. She's not being... Oh, this is the best scene in the movie.
This ginger guy is our friend Will Brooks. I swear.
Dude,
It's like he's a puzzle.
I pissed myself in this bit.
He was like a sphinx. He doesn't say anything. That's what I love. He's like just sitting there, like, yeah.
Like, no introduction, like almost no conclusion, just that, and it was fantastic.
And like they do it throughout the movie, is like you cut back. Can I mention that the teacher in this movie reminds me so much of the teacher in Just Visiting? Like in the film we did, Just Visiting, there's a teacher who's the exact same
like the
style.
excursion.
Yeah,
I remember now.
I love the teacher in this movie. Like, I know to skip ahead, but do you remember the mirror scene?
In this.
Yeah, in this movie. The mirror scene where she does her
Oh
presentation.
yes.
And at the end, the teacher's just like,
Oh yeah.
the teacher's like, wow, well, they're very creative. And mean.
It's like, yeah, again, who speaks like that? This teacher.
so leopards and cheerleaders don't change their spots. What a line.
What a line. I thought you were about to say, what a line.
No. What a line.
As a leopard,
Leopards
I
and
could
cheerleaders
personally...
change their spots.
So hold on, because
She's got her own Wikipedia page. There we go.
And she
so-
shakes her head like, oh, what a
And he's
scape.
like, neck minute, I'm on that.
Is gonna.
Oh!
Oh, I can see a midriff,
Oh,
and that's
I-
when he's alone.
I just noticed something.
What did you notice?
The name of that file was like Charlotte Barnes 19 or something.
So she's not even the first Charlotte Barnes.
Yeah, exactly. And later on, he deletes a JPEG from his phone. It's like Charlotte 19, but it's a completely different photo.
What? No.
Like, mind you, I think this one had Barnes in it and that one didn't, but the same number. The 19 silent. Conspiracy.
Is it because she's 19 years old?
She's probably 19.
Oh,
or
she's
turning
18.
19.
She's graduating
final
at the end,
year.
right? Yeah.
Yeah, so
she'd
she's
be
18, or maybe she, started a year late or something.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. Her
Please.
dad's dying.
Oh dear.
Please, Louise. No, guys.
So the stuff this girl says, hey, are you a good Samaritan? Please, Louise.
Now, you're a girl, Beck. Did you speak like this when you were in high
No,
school?
and I don't know anyone who ever has.
Did you also have a waitressing job?
Yes, I did have a waitressing job.
Did you work like she did, which is just sit down and talk to your friends
Yeah,
and not
see,
actually work, and have your
they have
ex-boyfriend / boyfriend / not ex / ex hassle you at work to the point in which you couldn't do your job?
Yes, but that
Yes?
was because he was one of the chefs. But that's a different story. This whole, I have my friends come into work and I sit down and chat to them, think, this does not exist.
Yeah, no, it
this
doesn't
happens
exist.
in the Cinderella story.
No, it does
This
too.
happens
It
a lot
happened
of
in the video
films.
game Catherine.
Yeah, okay. And where waitress gets to just sit down and chill and chat, and this just does not happen.
No,
if
it
you're a
doesn't.
waitress, you are a slave to that coffee machine.
See, that's the truth. Most jobs, you don't just get to sit down and be like, yo, 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 sling the shit. No,
Ever.
you gotta be working, man.
My jobs, I don't sit down until I get on the train to go home. Like,
Yeah, exactly.
It just does not happen.
Okay,
Yeah.
see, look, the boyfriend here, like, he's being such a nice guy and a douche in this one scene. Like, he's just like, you know, you left. He's making all these valid points, but then he's like, who the heck is Will? It's like, say hello, the heck is Will. Yes, that's catchy comedy right there for
That's another thing women say.
Well, yeah, who the heck? They say heck, do they, Beck?
The heck is Will.
I think I've heard you say heck.
It's aimed at kids who swear but shouldn't, so they've
So they
you know,
can't
put
say.
heck in
So they
instead
can't
of
say
other things.
cunt. Yeah.
Well, probably not.
I imagine the only out of all the characters in this movie, who's the one character who you think could say cunt?
The guy who's an enigma.
Which one's that?
The redhead kid from the last scene. He doesn't say a word. You know the only thing he'd say would be the bad thing.
I personally think it's the drummer.
That's actually true.
The drummer would be like, "You cunt."
Dude, and he like wouldn't even notice it.
Like,
Like,
here she is.
he'd smash things and... Oh. So earlier we were talking about who our favourite woman would be. What about Will?
Phoebe from Will. Will himself is the favorite woman. Yeah. Yeah, she's all right. Look. There's in a masterpiece. There's always standout performances, isn't that right, guys? You know, Tom Hanks in any movie, yeah, and in any masterpiece, you know, and
Mazes and Monsters.
Mazes and Monsters.
We should do that.
Big,
episode.
obviously. That's a good movie. I watched that again recently. But there's always people who stand out amongst the standouts. You know, even in classic big ensemble pieces, there's always that one. And here she is, Lisa Kudrow. Just there she is. She would say such lines as, "I think you're pulling away from me," as her son is having a shower.
Yeah, she's having like a super crisis, and the crisis is that my son is having friends and doing things with them.
Now, as someone who's got a mother, my mother did worry about me having friends. Did yours, Bartek?
No, I've always had friends.
Yeah. Beck, did yours worry about you having friends?
My mother wanted to choose my friends for me,
Uh-huh.
and yeah, let's not get into that.
The best kind of choice is the choice of friends by someone else other than yourself.
Of course.
So here we have this established
Backstory?
back relationship story between the two.
And you think it's going to lead somewhere?
Yeah, and it looks like, they forgot each other, but then she remembers that she's Survivor, and she compliments her on how
Yeah.
edgy the 5 is.
And she's like, it's silent, and she keeps saying it with the 5. Okay, see you. Like, we get it,
so
Vanessa.
like she forgot him, but she's like, Survivor, the 5 is
To
silent.
5 him, the 5 is silent. Oh,
Genius.
dear.
Like, she was being a bitch there, Bartek. I don't know. Okay, this guy's my hero. Like, I would be this guy in the movie. Like, out of all the characters who I would be the teacher who's asleep.
Oh, one thing that we have to make a connection to.
Wait, can we just appreciate this moment, please?
Absolutely.
What's the big round brown thing on
I don't
his
know, but
table?
wait.
Dude, this movie's so
Children
violent.
are the best.
This movie needs to be upgraded.
That big brown thing was the script.
It's a muffin.
And all the terribly worded lines that are in it.
Okay, Bartek, go
So
on.
the thing that we have to make a connection to is at the end of our Thunderpants episode, we talked about how a lot of movies don't really have ongoing narration.
Yes.
This movie most certainly does.
Yes, this movie does have a narration, and I'm glad that you brought that up because I'm so sad we haven't brought it up. Which is his narration is he's writing constant emails and letters to David Bowie, and Bowie never replies back. And I like the fact that he writes to David Bowie in the first place. That's my favorite part of it all, is the fact
Yeah,
that he...
usually you'd write to your dad in jail and you'd be, I don't know.
Yeah, I agree. So that's the typical Bowie, thing going on there. But yeah.
I like how this guy, he starts off by saying, like, say what's on your mind. And then as soon as he says what's on his mind, he's like, look, I'm sorry. It's like all civil, kind of. So, like, he doesn't really take shit.
Yeah, indeed. That's exactly right. So,
Do you reckon his anger problem, because it's not really addressed much anymore, do you reckon his anger problems got better at the end?
no, I don't think they did.
I think a creative outlet playing drums would help him.
Can we just talk about that this guy fucking loves MILFs? Like, his whole thing, the drummer, is he loves mums.
Oh, and mums would love him. Look how pretty he is. Oh, God.
Oh god, his skin is so white.
He's so pretty.
Ryan, you messed with
He
the
looks-
Look
jacks.
at those peachy pink lips and that very newly shampooed hair.
Yeah.
Very newly shampooed for a mechanic.
Yeah, he shampoos it with his anger. And now the thing is, he loves mums, right? He loves to bang
Well, technically just older women.
older women, but he looks at her and she's like, who's the babe? And it's like, who the fuck are you?
You know what,
I dig older chicks because they're the ones that really get me. Really?
Yeah, they
Yeah.
get his dick.
Yeah, so, like, I was actually not really fully paying attention to that. I just saw blonde hair. I'm like, oh, he's talking about Charlotte.
No, he's
But it was the
talking
mums.
about his mum.
So when he was like, my big sister's like, why would you lie about Charlotte? Then the next scene, I'm like, oh, that was the mom.
The mommy. Yeah, so he writes to David Bowie throughout this whole process. I love how he wins over the drummer is by pimping out his mother. Now,
He's totally like undressing her with his eyes.
Yeah, he is, and it's kind of hard not to, because now you're aware of the fact that she's wearing like the dress, and then she's like, "Oh my god, no!" And then she tries to zip up the dress, and it doesn't work. Look at him; he's like, "Oh, I can't wait to get a part of that." Okay, so obviously, Bartek, you like older women, obviously. Beck, as a MILF, not that you've had a kid, but I imagine if you did, you would be one. How would you feel?
Thank you.
No problem. How would you feel if, you're whatever her age is, and a 17-year-old drummer with long, good shampooed hair was furiously drumming to you, and then threw his stick at you? How would you feel? Would you feel good? And he was one of your son's
Threw
friends.
his stick at her, didn't he? Is that like, what is that? Is that...
It's a
It could be a euphemism for so much.
Yeah, he's loved.
Look, I look at 17-year-olds now and think,
Yum, yum.
Christ, I could never date one of those.
Hipsters.
Let alone being 40 and having a 17-year-old child myself. I don't
Yeah.
understand how that works, but hey, whatever floats your boat.
Whatever floats the boat. So, Bartek,
That's me, again.
Hey, Bowie!
it's Bowie, and he's here.
It's Dave. Meet David.
Hey, Dave.
Meet David. It is funny because he would be a starship. Oh, can you imagine if Meet Dave, the movie that we did last time, was actually like David Bowie? And it was just like, instead of
It's
like...
a documentary.
It's a documentary. No.
Hello,
instead,
I'm David.
Hello, I'm David Bowie. No, it's like, instead of it being like a spaceship full of aliens, it would still be that, but instead of him crash landing here now, it's like he's always been here and he's just gone on to a music career. Look, talking about great music, these guys are rapping.
Gotta have a shot of a teacher getting down and into it.
Yeah, I think so. Bartek, you're going to be a teacher. Do you want to get down and dirty with the kids' raps?
Yes.
So much.
So much so.
It's the reason I'm wanting it.
You're wanting to be a teacher.
Yeah.
Is your dream like to be such a great teacher that at the end of your career all your previous students come and make a rap about you and there's like a big scene and they stand on their tables like
Rapping.
Oh, Captain,
Well-
my captain, but rapping?
Well, no, because by the end of my career, I want to be an old senile guy who goes, ah!
Yeah. Fun thing. Does she ever talk in this movie?
I almost forgot she was in the movie until a way later scene with
Yeah,
this scene
I
against
get
the
it,
chain link
guys.
fence.
I get it, Pitch Perfect. You
Oh,
really
check
want...
out how awkward this is.
Yeah, he's like, I'll grab it for no reason. Like, who the fuck are you? No, we get it Pitch Perfect. You wanted a cool, quirky Asian character? Well, Bandslam already did it, so
Yeah.
step off.
Yeah, they have the not English guy.
Yeah, the not English guy. Step off. Pitch Perfect ripped so much off from this movie. Like, like, there's a band. That's a rip-off.
Who's the guy on the very right?
He's the guy who plays saxophone. Like, all we saw
He didn't
was...
get a scene?
No. Lots of the band members didn't get scenes.
This must be a reference to the Muppets movie.
So, Bartek, do you think it's time I talked about my movie experience
boy
in this
is
movie?
Yeah, sure. Guys, Ryan had a unique experience fueled by the fact that he hadn't seen this movie before.
Yeah.
Ah,
I had never seen this movie before. And I couldn't find it on DVD. It must be Big Fat Liar, where it's just gone out of print, which is the Greek tragedy. I got myself a copy of it, like a really high quality copy, and I was watching it, and it was edited by the person themselves. And it was edited so well, in which the music, like in the background, the soundtrack, was not altered in any way. But the scenes were edited and placed in different places, so the film came off as a very artistic, non-linear storytelling type movie. And I was watching it all the way through, wondering, why is this movie edited in such a way? What is happening? And I looked it up on IMDb, and I'm like, oh, it's the same length. It must be how the film is. And I'm watching it, and there's scenes that will commence, and then it will cut back to the start of the scene, but it would do it in such a way where it felt dramatically poignant, like that repetition, and they'd only do it for a specific bit, and then it would cut back to what was going to be the rest of the scene, and like other scenes, and it was just so well done that I didn't know that I was watching a fan-edited version of the film until near the end, and I'm like, well, the continuity's way off. And I'm thinking, okay, have I accidentally got like an abridged version of this movie? So I had to then be like, oh shit, I've watched the entire movie, but it's not the movie, so I had to watch it again, and there's giant bits of it that I didn't get the fully experience, such as the Asian guy having an English accent, like the fact that
wasn't
they,
in it?
No, it was. They just didn't comment on it. Like they didn't have the bits where they commented. So I thought, oh, was that just randomly chucked in there? And like other things. So my viewing experience of this movie was quite the experience. I got the weirdest one. Like characters would just disappear for large periods of the film and then come back, and then
Just
I watched it
survive
again.
him at this point.
And then I watched it again, and they're in it. So, like, characters are in it that have just disappeared. But I will give it this. This movie is artistic, Beck. Yeah, I know, you're thinking, this is an artistic movie. Look at Caterpillar Lips there.
I'm just looking at all these band names come out, and they're all just as
Terrible.
shit as each other.
And this movie's artistic because there's a scene later on. I know, spoiler, Bartek. Calm down. Where
All right,
her
I'll
dad
finish it.
dies. Her dad dies. But the transition to it is so out of place. Like, it's like they're rocking. They like rock and rolling. And then the next scene is, haven't you heard? Her dad is dead. It's like, what? It felt really out of place.
Your hero said that? Like the teacher?
Yeah, the teacher.
Oh, the great scene.
And this is a great scene. But let me just finish quickly before this fucking scene. I thought, I got an edited version, right? It's just weirdly done. And then I watched the real version, and it's the exact same for that moment. I'm like, this is weird editing. I like it. Now this is a weird scene, is it, Beck? Does your mother often come into the shower and talk to you?
Yeah,
Really?
yeah, and my sisters as well.
Ew.
Yeah, my sister will stand there brushing her teeth, flossing, blah, 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 whatever, talking to me while I'm in the shower. I've grown up in a very sort of European, everyone's okay to be naked around each other environment. Not so much now that the girls are more developed. There's
So now bosoms are a reason not to.
No,
Right, you've already
no,
called her a
it's more
MILF.
that- But, yeah, I don't know, women and nudity, it's not really an issue in my family.
Yeah,
I
but-
don't know why it should be. I think it's normal for kids to see their parents naked and all that sort of stuff. I think it's good.
Yeah.
It's healthy.
But he's like in high school.
Yeah, okay.
And it's
Here's
his
your
mum.
teenage boy in the shower. You don't go and talk to him. You wait. Can you wait 5 minutes?
Yeah, and you don't know what he's doing.
Yeah.
He could be wanking.
So, Ryan, to call back to the, what's that movie that we watched? The Indian one. Not Indian. Bend It Like Beckham. That's the movie that I was hinting at. You pointed out how that movie had many montages. Whereas
this has fewer montages.
Yeah, this has few music videos.
Can I just say something about this particular song?
Do it.
I didn't watch it with subtitles, so I couldn't understand what they were saying some of the times. And for good portions of it, it sounded like they were saying Shyamalan. Like M. Night Shyamalan, the film creator. And I thought they were just singing Shyamalan, Shyamalan. And then my household, we were watching it with my whole household and a friend over, and we were just screaming with the song Shyamalan, Shyamalan. It's like God bless his soul, but we were just like Shyamalan, Shyamalan. And then someone yelled out like plot twist. I like how we just kept matching it. Then at the end, the song ends, and I'm just like, I see dead people.
I like how you
everywhere.
I like how you pointed out like a friend, like some vague person, when it's someone who's been on this show.
Yeah. Bartek, you got me.
Yeah.
It was him all along. I just didn't want to mention that he was in my house.
It was Michael Shannon from...
Michael Shannon! It was Frankie Muniz himself. So, yeah, for this whole entire song, I thought they were just like, Shyamalan! And I'm like, yeah.
So what are they saying?
God bless, or cause I don't know. I'm looking at it now, and it doesn't seem like it would sound... Look, vocalizing. They don't even know. Like, the subtitles, like, vocalizing. What? It sounds like Shyamalan to me, but that's just me being a big M. Night Shyamalan
Maybe
fan.
it was a foreign song, and this is like the English subtitles of that foreign song.
If we ever had to do an M. Night Shyamalan film on the show, what one would you want to do, Bartek?
To tell you the truth, I haven't really seen that many.
Okay, so we're going to be doing After Earth with Will Smith and Jaden Smith. Okay, can I ask something? What the fuck is happening with Jaden Smith?
Anything and everything. It's wonderful.
He's cross-dressing and being in magazines.
No, he's just being an absolute chameleon, doing whatever the hell he wants.
I love Jaden Smith because there's that thing, right, where you're like, oh, because, Jaden Smith's obviously a big fan of Bowie too. Let's go back to the Bowies. But here's the thing. There's that point where you're like, oh, cool, Jaden Smith likes to wear dresses. That's fine. But then you know for a fact that he's doing this stuff, to on purposely be weird, because then he goes to his school prom dressed as Batman, but in all white. Yeah. And that's when you go, wow. This little shit is doing it on purpose for the attention, not necessarily because it's necessarily what he feels deep within.
Also, I felt like it was a kind of Lou Reed thing he had going on, and then now it's like, okay, he's just doing it to cause shit.
His daddy, Will Smith, is like fine with anything.
Yeah.
That's
like,
the thing. You think Will Smith is the coolest dude, but you gotta think, at the end of the day, at some point, Will Smith saw Jaden walk out in the dress, and he, even though he's a Fresh Prince himself, he would have been like, like, there's going to be a point where Will Smith had to have sighed.
Yeah.
Do you love that Will Smith's children is Jaden Smith and Willow Smith? As in his wife's name is Jada.
Yada and Will.
Oh, really?
Oh,
Willow, as in Will, and then Jaden is like...
Doesn't he have another...
Yeah, and that's where you feel sorry for the other one because they have a normal name. Like, just like,
Do you feel sorry or feel like they're the lucky one?
Both. Oh, okay. She fell on her ass, and her phone would have...
So, hold on, where did they go?
They went to the CGBG, obviously.
Yeah, but, like... Isn't this someplace that Will's supposed to know?
Yeah, this is, like, he's never been here, but she has, so she's taking him. Like, it's like the idea is go to your favourite place.
Yeah, I thought, like, Will took her to someplace that he knew.
Yeah, like, well, he did. He's like, let's go. But, they're just bumming around. She kind of forced him to go. Like, she's like, let's do it, and do it! And he's like, sure, I'm Miles Teller's son.
Does Will own a record player?
Yeah, oh my god! For the entire time, I'm making fun of him looking like Miles Teller, and in this sequence, there's a shot of a bookshop, and it's called, like, oh, here it is, it's called...
Strand?
Miles of Books, and I'm like,
You was laughing.
Now, you mentioned CGBG before. Shall we share with our listeners the correlation you had with what's happened this week?
So, obviously, you people at home are like, oh, well, you people are like, oh, you're doing this in honor of Bowie's death. What about Alan Rickman? What about, Gruber from Die Hard? Best role he ever did. Yeah, I'll fight ya.
Caterpillar from Alice in Wonderland.
Yeah. And, what about him? Aren't you going to do anything for him? Well, we're doing it now. Because Alan Rickman was in a movie about the CBGB, and I've yet to see it. But he was in a movie about that, and this movie involves that. So by, 6th Degree, we are doing it for Alan Rickman too.
Bit of a stretch, but we got there.
We always stretch on this show because we like to get fit, Beck.
Yes, and
spit
flexible.
and polish and fit.
Yes.
That will be our show when we do it with Beck. Like when we do another show, Bartek, Beck was talking to me. She's like, what happens if you do kids shows from when we grew up, like
TV shows.
Yeah, kids TV shows and revisit them.
Between then and now.
Yeah, and now we could call it spit and polish and fit. And it's like when we have if we ever get little pictures, it'll be like Bartek and I are like little Polish sausages, and then like Beck can be something else. Like what's a Dutch thing?
I don't know.
What's a Dutch thing? A clog.
There's actually a perfect Polish cartoon that we can put our heads on.
I like the idea that we're little Polish sausages, and then she's just a clog.
Oh.
Like we're personified, and you're just a clog, like not with eyes or anything.
There's a Polish cartoon called Bolek I Lolek, which is about two brothers, one tall, thin one, one kind of shorter, fatter one. There's like no dialogue at all.
Is that us?
Yes, you can be
It's
Bolek
definitely
and I'll be Lolek.
Am I the tall thin one?
Yes.
Oh, I don't
You wear a
think...
yellow shirt, you freak.
I'm a freak! So here they are looking at graffiti. We often go, us young kids, when I was young, we would often easily break inable historical places.
Well,
and look at
breaking the
graffiti.
door's open.
Oh,
Sort of.
right, but it's still trespassing, Bartek. Like, if I went to your house at 2 o'clock at night and just opened your door and you left it unlocked, and would that
wouldn't.
still be breaking in?
You should at least say, will you say hello at least?
No, he's not saying hello to anyone.
I walked into your house today, the door was open.
Yeah, and I often call you rude. So, Beck knocked on my door.
I did. I
Like
also
it.
took my shoes off, but that's just habit.
Ryan, this is
Right,
like
yeah.
our 9th, 10th episode. I feel like I live here.
Yeah, Bartek actually lives underneath my house, and I find it very weird at night when I can hear him speaking Polish to his mother.
Ryan, give me the water. Jeszcze wodę, jeszcze picie. That's what I say.
Alrighty.
Yep.
I speak in English then Polish.
Selfie! Is this the
Selfie,
first movie with a
2009.
selfie? Is this the first selfie movie?
Yeah, maybe.
And you know who invented it? Vanessa Hudgens.
Uh-huh.
Who would have
Yes.
guessed?
Survive them.
Okay, so in my edited version
Oh, what's gonna happen?
that I watched of this movie, this scene, they kiss.
Oh,
Right.
why?
Yeah, because you gotta kiss.
You can't mix business with pleasure.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
What
That's
are you doing, guys?
that's what it's all about. And
Well,
they
to be fair,
kiss.
Charlotte says it's all business for her.
All business, no pleasure. They kiss, right? In my version, as soon as their lips touch, it cuts to the next scene or scene later where it's him and Vanessa Hudgens, and they're set up for a kiss. They're set up for a kiss.
Yeah.
And it's like he plays it off perfectly, like it's like a daydream sequence in my one. When he plays it off perfectly, like he throws the book and like brushes, like moves her hair and kisses her, and then cuts and it's like, oh, he's daydreaming, and then he does it and he fails and he like pats on the face, and then it cuts back to them finishing their kiss, and then it's like cuts to the mum watching them, and then it cuts back to the Vanessa Hudgens scene.
It's so artsy.
I thought, this is really artsy. It reminds me of 500 Days of Summer. That's what I thought when I watched it. I'm like, this is so 500 Days of Summer. But then I watched this version and I'm like, nah. Bartek,
Don't compare this to 500 Days of Summer.
yeah, I think it's unfair to compare 500 Days of Summer to anything good, because fuck that movie.
Jesus Christ. Chloe Moretz.
Talking about Manic Pixie Dream Girls.
you
That's a
know,
film.
Precocious child.
So,
Hmm?
Bartek, how do you feel about this first kiss situation?
Well, first and only, right?
Yeah, well, no, I mean, he gets it a bit later. But what do you think of this? Like, in my notes, I wrote Grand Theft Kiss, because it's all about his first kiss, right? Well, he wants it with this other girl, and she's like, oh, I'll teach her how to
The
do it
only-
properly, but she's stealing the first kiss. She's a thief of kisses.
The only person who's bothered by it is the mum.
Yeah, and rightfully so. I'm on the mum's side. So, was your, Bartek, have you had your first kiss yet?
Shh, no, don't, drop the subject.
Why?
Drop it.
So, no.
Oh, Lisa Kudrow just
Because
watched the first kiss.
My first kiss situation was not this. I didn't have the girl that I was kissing at the time be like, okay, yeah, let's prep you for when you have your actual first kiss.
Yeah.
And she wasn't the older senior blonde cheerleader, because we don't get cheerleaders, really. I was so amazed when I went to university that there were cheerleaders.
What? There
Yeah,
were?
I didn't actually
I
know
knew-
of any until uni.
Yeah, like, obviously my school didn't have cheerleaders. We didn't have any sports teams in general, so who were they to cheer for? But I got so amazed when I went to university that there was cheerleading people, and
I
they were
didn't
everywhere,
see
and
any
we
of that.
knew people from cheerleading, Bartek.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, wait, there was... Oh, right, yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
She
we
broke
knew
her neck or something.
several-
What's that instrument on the wall behind you?
I
Is
do
that a sitar?
believe
No, that's not a sitar.
I was
it's
gonna
not a
say, is it a
sitar.
sitar?
It's a dildo.
Oh.
The mother uses it because the
Oh,
dad's
that's
not
not
around.
a musical instrument, Ryan.
Well, it gives a good sound. So, Beck, was your first kiss situation like his, where
My
it was
first
like
kiss-
a friend?
Well, funny that our character is getting on a bus right now. My first kiss was on a bus.
Oh,
I was in year 8.
Oh, year 8.
And I had a boyfriend at the time. He was very cute. His name was Adam.
Adam.
And Adam had braces.
Oh no.
And he leaned in to kiss me.
Yes.
Thinking about it now, it was a very crowded setting. Interesting.
Well, that's
he
what
leaned
kiss
in
is always
to
about.
kiss me, and the bus kind of lurched to take off.
Oh!
Braces cut my lower lip, and it was bleeding. And I got home, and my mum said, "What happened to you?"
Did someone punch
And
you?
I just said to her, "Oh, I got hit in the face because our bus had actually taken off from the sports carnival that we were at all day.
Oh, good grief.
Good cover, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Good
yeah.
cover.
So it actually
So,
lined
yeah,
up.
my first kiss, I copped a blood lip. Wasn't
Blood
great.
lip. That's the worst. That's like one of the worst you could get.
Oh, it's very sad. He was a very sweet boyfriend for a 14-year-old boy.
Yeah, with
I
braces.
I actually don't know if I've had a first kiss or not.
Well, Bartek.
Your mum doesn't
Beck.
count, by the way.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, Bartek.
No, I think I repressed it. I remember
Your
that
cat
was-
doesn't count. Come on.
Oh, the cat. Oh, never mind.
What's he
then.
doing?
He's trying to follow her advice, but then he fucked it up, so he's going to the ultimate extreme instead.
I like how, despite all this, like, Survivor's actually, like, she wants it.
Stop.
That sounds like a wrong thing to say, but, like, she wants the kiss.
So in my version, this happened where he did this, where he's like, he throws the book, like he's trying to throw the book away and he fails. But in my version, it played off like he actually did it, and then it cuts to this. But in this, it's just this from the beginning. I like how she's fighting him, like, that's my book. I need that book.
She looks how I would feel, which is severely freaked out. Like,
And
what are you
upset.
trying to do?
Upset.
Why are you throwing my things around?
Do you
and
think he's an
petting
attractive
me?
guy?
I don't know. I probably would have thought he was cute when I was that age.
I liked how the drummer is like, earlier on, he's like, if you got nothing to say, take your little afro and go somewhere
Yeah,
else.
that was a good line. I liked that.
I love.
Ryan, do you think he's cute?
No, I think he needs a fucking
Look at
chin.
his chin.
He needs
Oh, yeah,
one.
we pointed out the chin at the same time.
I think he needs a chin. Oh yeah, and of course she fucking loves horror movies. Cause what teenage manic pixie dream girl doesn't love The Evil Dead? Yeah, that's right. What happens? I would like it if she was manic pixie dream girl and she's like, my favorite movie is Big Fat Liar.
My favourite movie is Kangaroo Jack.
Yeah.
My
Fun.
favourite podcast is Spit and Polish.
Yeah. Listen now. One of my favorite things at recent is I like to every now and then on Facebook comment on people's posts, which, you know, just randomly and say something about Big Fat Liar. Like, we had one the other day where people were like, oh, I really liked movies from 2014 or whatever this year, and they're like listing movies, and I was just like, you know, I like Nightcrawler, and people were like, oh yeah, best X-Men ever, and I'm like, yeah, and I also like Big Fat Liar, with no context, and I'm getting to that point where I'm like, I'm just going to drop that in on any conversation, where it's like, I got a vegan friend, and she'll be like, I saw a cow the other day on the back of a truck, and it was crying, and I'm just going to write, I like Big Fat Liar, and put a picture of Paul Giamatti giving a thumbs up.
Okay, so
I can't wait for
so
it.
this scene here where they're talking about this, they don't establish that it's on the same Saturday as the Evil Dead thing. I'm like,
Oh,
this
there's
better
that
not be on a
outfit.
Saturday.
Yeah.
And then it turns out, oh yeah, it is at the same time as the
and it's
star.
the coolest thing that ever happened to him.
Yeah. And
That
she's
says a lot about the fact that he just had his first kiss.
Yeah, and also might I add, she is very attractive in this particular scene.
Yeah?
I feel.
Will's a guy.
No, she, like, the chick. I like the name of
Mum's
this
not in
band.
this scene.
Yes. You call your mum a chick? That's a bit awkward. I like the fact that the band's name is Burning Hotels. And out of all the bands, I felt like this one was an actual band. Like, I felt like these guys could be on after, say, someone like Vampire Weekend.
Yeah.
Like, or OK Go.
It's
you know,
very
like,
rare.
these guys are actually, like, Burning Hotels. I like the name.
Yeah, it's very rare that you find a movie like this with a band in it
Oh,
that
this movie
actually
has
has
few.
a good name.
That has a good name.
The only other one I can think of at the moment is Freaky Friday with Jamie Lee Curtis and Lindsay Lohan, and the band's name was Pink Slip, which is like
That's a good one. It sounds dirty.
it's like a punishment notice
Yeah,
in
when-
school.
I
and
got that
thought
in
that
my
was
school.
kind of cute, like rebellious Pink Slip.
Best fake band name, guys, in movies and TV. If you had to pick, I mean, you got Spinal Tap,
The Bartek.
obviously.
Yeah, Spinal Tap's good.
But is it Mystic Spiral from Daria? It's like they're always gonna change it. It's like, yeah, we're Mystic Spiral, but we're gonna change it. Bartek, best fake band name.
Bartek is handsome and sexy.
Huh.
It'll
I
never
really
happen.
like Burning Hotels. I think that's
I
my
think
new
Burning
favorite.
Hotels is really
Yeah.
good. Like
That's an act of terrorism, guys.
okay. There are moments in films where there's people, right? Okay, the best example I can think of is if you've ever watched the 80s, 90s, The Fly with Jeff Goldblum.
Okay.
There's a character in it called Stannis, I think. And there's things like that where if I came up with that character's name and I came up with like this band's name, for me personally, I would just write it down. Like if I'm writing the script, I'd write that down and go, wow, that's really good. I'm done for the day. Like, and then like clap my hands. I'm like, if I came up with the name Burning Hotels, I think I'd be like, good job, Ryan.
Yeah.
Done for the
Someone
day. You
reward
deserve
me.
the day off. Pat on the back for that good one.
Do you guys think that he should have gotten the Burning Hotel's pardon?
I think he should have at least phoned her and told her that he wasn't
I
going to
think
make
he should
it.
have invited her.
Yeah.
Like, that would have solved everything. Sorry we can't see your favourite movie, but why don't we go and see Burning Hotels together
But-
and then go home and watch the movie
But
together?
don't you think it's better that he completely forgot about her?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that they can have this big fight and the movie can continue, sure. But seriously, if teenagers thought properly and, you know, were considerate of each other, he would have done it the way I suggested.
So clearly this movie is a very fantastic one because it tells you the lesson of how teenagers behave and how it is a self-destructive behaviour.
And how they are inconsiderate of each other.
Young pictures of her.
Vanessa Hudgens.
No, actually, those are pictures of Selena Gomez. They just really wanted to switch it up.
Survive as Gomez.
So this woman is her mother, and she is just in the film, and she automatically shows this guy from school what could be a dramatically
Okay.
embarrassing video of
My
her.
mum would do this.
Your mum would
My
do
mum
this?
would definitely do this.
Where it's like, yeah, this was the happiest moment of her life, and then she failed, and it made her depressed from then on. And then she would show that to your friends. Because that's what this video is. It's like, this is the moment where she was the happiest, but then she didn't win the competition, and that's why she's so depressed all the time.
You know, for a video from her past, this would have been a good time to show off the stuttering.
Yeah, you think.
Yeah.
It's all about stuttering.
There's only been 2 references to it so far.
There have
yeah.
been more than one, really?
There's been multiple, just like when you stutter.
Oh, Ryan.
I don't get it, but I will later.
What do
God.
you mean you don't get it? Oh, Bartek. Bartek, do you even know what stuttering is?
Yeah, it's like stammering.
Thank
here we
you for
go.
using another
Here we go.
adjective.
Here she is with her perfectly curled hair, which nobody ever has time for in real life.
Yeah, I have curly hair, and trust me, it's never good looking. I mean, I'm a guy, so I never obviously look after my hair. I'm like this guy, where he doesn't give a fuck.
Her hair's really...
Guys don't give a shit about their hair. Like, if you do, you're hipstery, cool man, whatever, but usually we don't care.
Her hair was really nice. It looked like she had a beret on.
You see, the main blonde girl, most of the time her hair is on...
realistic.
is realistic. Sometimes it isn't, but I will give a pass because usually it's when she's out on a date. So that's when you're like, okay, she would do her hair up. But what was Vanessa Hudgens doing? Was she like...
She was coming home.
What was her storyline? Like, she's
Hot
like, oh, I
rollers.
went to school,
Hot
so I
rollers in
gotta
the
put my
morning.
hot rollers in.
Should we point out the fact that Charlotte is on the website called Miss Space?
Miss Space? Is that what it's like in Polish?
No.
Oh, I don't speak Polish, so I assume that's what you say it as in Polish.
The movie's called Bandslam.
Oh, look, he's in it again. It's like, it's been
This-
so
yeah.
long since we've seen him, I forgot his
Do you reckon
existence.
this guy looks a bit like Paul Walker? Just a
Yeah,
bit?
I think he's in the show Heart of Dixie.
Ah,
And
he
has
is.
a
I don't know
beard.
how I know that.
He has a beard, I think, and he sings in that too.
Yeah.
You know why I know that? Because I looked him up.
Oh, okay.
I had to look. Okay, fun fact: the main guy is not Miles Teller. I know, shock alert. And this guy went on to literally do barely anything after, which is so depressing. Like
main
in his-
character?
yeah, the main character. He's only done 9 things in his career, and after this, he probably did like 4 things after, and he stopped acting for quite some time.
Did he at least like start alongside Michael Cera at any point?
No.
Oh.
Greek tragedy. And he look, I like how the guitar was there, just there. Like, all right, here it is. And now I'm gonna.
And it was already tuned and everything perfectly.
Well, yeah.
Oh, there's a capo there too. Unless he just keeps one in his sock just in case.
No, I.
Did you guys know that? Because it said on the blackboard that WWW stands for World Wide Web.
Yeah, I think I did that.
What is that, like an analysis of a website?
Well, yeah. Okay. I will give this movie credit. This isn't, like I said, multi-layered, very intelligent. Beck, we've been doing these movies, and there comes a point in which, specifically, I've been mentioning it a lot, where you start to understand the movie making process. Like, there's movies where they're so bad you can never understand how they got made, but then there's movies like this where they're so unappreciated, so underground, so, some could argue middle of the road, where you're like, I can kind of understand it, but you don't fully understand it. I've been getting more and more like that, and with this movie is one that it kind of just makes me go, wow. I thought I knew what it was about from reading the synopsis and watching it, but there's moments where I go, I don't know anything about it, because there's a bit, right, early on where the dog is fetching laxatives, and I thought, oh, well, I'm so used to movie making like this, they're going to use those laxatives later on
Yeah.
for some kind of poop joke.
Yeah.
But they weren't used.
Yeah.
And that's the genius of this movie. It sets up things, and the payoff isn't there.
It leaves you hanging. There's all these loose ends.
Okay, here's the
Like
scene.
the stutter.
Yeah.
The stutter. Yeah, you think it's a setup? Nothing. Look, he tells these guys, like, get recon, find out everything you know about him. And he's like, these guys, all of this stuff. Like, he's a gangster now. And these guys are like, whoa, what?
The one who's not speaking right now, he just has this like face on. He's
Yes.
like, what the hell are you talking about? What movie is this?
Yeah, he's like, you're not the Joker. We're not your henchman.
This Paul Walker looking guy looks like he's about 35 as well.
Oh yeah, he's definitely like 35 years old. This is 10 Things I Hate About You, really. Her
Yeah.
speech here is like 10 Things I Hate About You.
It's totally happening.
It's like, her thing is like a mirror, like, oh, yeah, he reflects you. But he can't reflect himself. It's like, leave the guy alone, his dad died. He doesn't know who he is.
You know, it would have been a great twist if they show the mirror after Will and there's no reflection.
Yeah, and he's a vampire.
He's a
And then he's
vampire.
like, you got my secret. And like, he flies up and he's like, and then
No, but it sets up. It doesn't go anywhere. It's like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, I'm a vampire. There's an anime like that I've seen.
yeah, I was thinking he starts to hover and he's like, and then you turn around and there's Robert Pattinson there and he's like, this is my school, bitch. And then he punches him and there's Taylor Lautner sitting there going, I can't wait for that next Adam Sandler film I'm gonna be in. What the fuck is that about? You know that, right? That after Twilight, Taylor Lautner's only been pretty much doing Adam Sandler movies.
Was he in Grown Ups?
He was in Grown Ups 2,
Yeah.
and now he's in The Ridiculous 6.
Huh.
And he's playing, like, jocks and goofy-looking people. So it's like, what happened? Like, I thought, okay, look, I don't like Twilight. I don't think anyone really likes Twilight. I think people who like it ironically most of the time, like the movies. The books, I don't
We'll
care.
like it when we do it on the show.
And we're never doing it. Never. And
I read all the Twilight books in 2009.
Oh my God.
I've
So
only read the first one.
Well, brought out.
I've never read any of them because I've had a life.
How do you know you don't like him?
I don't know why.
Look at the gutter trash. But, Taylor Lautner, I'll give him this, he's not a great actor, but he's a very attractive guy on a level. So you think, oh, he's not going to be doing fucking Adam Sandler movies, but I was wrong. I was wrong. I thought this guy...
He started off on, what was it? Shark Boy and Lava
Lava Girl by Robert Rodriguez.
Yeah.
I've got a Robert Rodriguez movie on my list of them. It's called Short. And I've never heard of it before.
I've seen the trailer for that a few times.
Yeah. So when I watched this in my edited version, right?
Yeah.
All of the subtitles here were written in another language. But then the credits were all in English, so I got really confused. So I thought right, so it's artistically done. Is it David Lynch? It's a David Lynch movie where he'll have French subtitles over something that's spoken in English for no reason. So I thought it's a French movie now. Brilliant. Beck, would you find this creepy?
Yeah, 100%.
I'm finding it creepy.
Mm-hmm.
I'm terrified. She's loving it. She's like, that is so sweet.
But she likes horror movies because she's the Manic Pixie Dream
She
Girl.
loves to read. Where did the books come from?
Her pants.
Oh.
Oh, and he painted his nails black so he could get that
Ooh.
scene. Think about that. He did this all by himself.
So it's kind of cute that he's gone to the effort, but at the same time,
reckon-
it's why can't you just say these things out loud and communicate them to me?
Do you reckon his mum
Normally?
helped him with the nails?
Oh, I reckon his mum must have.
So 5,
How do you pronounce
The
the
five
No,
is
that it was a
silent.
really shit paint job on his
Yeah.
nails. He definitely did it himself. And it was his right hand too, so he did it with his left hand.
Which is even
It
worse.
was a really bad job.
Look at this. I would be terrified. Okay, there was a kid. We missed it. But there was one kid in this class that gave a reaction that I felt was appropriate.
Yeah,
which was
one?
he looked at it and he was bopping his head to the music, but his
Oh, yeah.
eyes gave this look like, what the
What the
fuck
hell
is this?
Dude,
Yeah.
I think the bopping head to the music's a reference to the music video
What?
of the song that's playing.
Yeah.
Because it's a really weird music video. One character's whistling and the other character's bopping their head and they change.
Yeah. There's a bit...
If you Google hipster whistle song, this song comes up actually.
So 5 RE.
Yeah.
So 5
There's a bit where earlier, she's speaking gibberish. It's like
Gibberish?
Elvish. Earlier on, the drummer,
Yeah.
who we haven't seen again really. When we first saw him, when we were watching
what's
it,
his face's mum.
we were watching it last night, and my housemate commented before we saw him. We just heard the drumming, and we're like, "Oh, the guy! I already made a comment. He looks like Miles Teller." And it was just like, oh, wouldn't it be great if the drummer was J.K. Simmons himself from Whiplash? And it was just and he's just drumming, and he's just like, not quite my tempo. And he's smacking a gun. But then there's a bit, I don't know if we've missed it or later, but I was really happy because it's they're showing pictures of one of them younger, and my instant gut reaction was, I don't want... Give me pictures of Spider-Man! Just like J. Jonah Jameson from the Spider-Man movies.
Yeah,
J.K. Simmons' best movie role.
That's
wow, this is overstepping a boundary.
I thought he was ODing.
What?
I thought he was ODing
I thought
because
we
he
were
was
talking
taking...
I thought we were talking about the window.
Yeah, it was overbound. But I thought if I remember there, he's got all these pills and all that, and his life is complete shit right now. It went really bad. So I thought, this is going to be a dark turn where he's trying to kill himself, but apparently he's just sick. Which she doesn't believe. But I thought
That's Lego in his bed. I thought they were little pill packets.
No, they are.
Oh, Lego.
I thought they
Lego.
were. I thought they were pill packets.
Like two of the smaller things, I think.
Why has he got Lego in his bed?
Why has he got Lego in his bed? And one of the white pieces looks like it's in the shape of an S. Or a 5, maybe.
Oh
for
my
a
god,
survivor.
Survivor. The F is there's no F in it. Shh. There, here. I was like, give me pictures of Spider-Man.
Give me pictures of Spider-Man.
I don't want nudes. Give me pics of Spider-Man.
Phil's song.
Yeah, Phil's song for Phil Collins, which is quite true because there was a bit earlier on where he was watching a David Bowie interview where he's like, I don't know why people are here to see me. They should be here to see Phil Collins. And it's like, oh, get it, Phil. I get it. This movie's so on point. We think, look, I'm a big Bowie fan. And I just couldn't help but like his poster that he's got above his bed is the album The Lodger.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm a big Bowie nerd.
And did you notice that later on when he falls down in the corridor, he's sort of in
the same pose?
Yeah.
Yes.
But the climbing through the window, the reference to...
Oh, and Maya comes mum.
Okay, she's fucking intense in this scene.
Mm-hmm.
No
Get out of my son's
but
bedroom.
No pillow fighting.
She broke and entered into her house.
Yeah,
It's a callback to Saved by the Bell.
Oh, fuck off. Look, I agree with the mum 100%. Like, even if it was one of my friends, if they broke in through the house, my mum would be yelling at him, having a go. Like, I think that's any parent's reaction. Even if it's like a friend, they just knock on the front door. Knock on the front door.
But the window's
She's
open.
being incredibly disrespectful the way she's talking back to Will's mum, and she hasn't even formally been introduced.
Yeah, and she's also speaking in the way girls speak.
Manic pixie dream girl speak.
Do you find it weird how old we sound now? Like, if we were young teenagers, we're like, oh, you know, if it was us, but now we're like, so disrespectful to the mother.
And she calls her Karen.
Well,
who the fuck are you?
Probably, at the age that we're at now, we're probably closer to becoming parents than we are to have been teenagers.
What do you mean? I only just finished university. I'm
not
not
talking
a parent
about
yet.
parents to, like, human children specifically.
Oh.
But, animal children, or, that's a start, isn't it?
I'm a parent to
myself.
myself.
I have a fish and several chickens.
Chickens? Do you have any rabbits?
Ryan.
I have 3 at the moment. Their names are Harry, Ron, and Hermione.
Oh, get it? And that's a good reference.
What's that a reference to?
Oh.
Is it Doctor Who?
Was it a good reference because Alan Rickman died?
Oh, don't say Alan Rickman died like that.
Oh, sorry. Alan Rickman died. Was it better when I mentioned
David
it? Like,
Bowie also died.
I heard that Bowie died.
Oh my god, turns out his dad was a drummer.
Oh my god, and drummers are the worst.
Drummers are the worst. Drummers want in her pants.
Wait. Is that why the drummer has the hots for it?
Yes,
because drummers always have the hots for Phoebe from Friends.
Yes. Did Phoebe
reckon?
ever date a musician?
Yes, she did. I swear. Wasn't it Paul Rudd? Wasn't he a musician? No, he was in Friends.
I haven't seen
Yes, the piano player.
Yeah, he was a piano player. So
The one that she married.
Yeah, the one she married is Paul Rudd from Friends.
Oh my god.
Paul Rudd from Friends, not Ant-Man.
Paul Rudd.
Oh, look.
The most stand-up guy.
He seems like a nice guy.
Yeah, he seems like the most...
Except for on the Anchorman, he seems like an asshole.
He seems like the most average person in the world.
Except for...
Did you know that he's 46?
J.K. Simmons.
J.K. Simmons.
He's the most average guy in the world. So...
Oh, singing.
Yeah, what do you think of the songs in this, Beck? You're humble about singing. What do you think? Do you think you could sing better than her?
Do you like the Bowie songs?
No.
No?
I mean, she's mixed.
Mixed like a bag of nuts.
Ryan likes her singing. Also, he says he just wants to get in her pants because Ryan likes her.
Ryan?
Look, is she Paul Giamatti wet and blue? No.
You've proven me wrong.
But she's alright. I always think about every now and then when we make references to Big Fat Liar for the people who haven't watched
you say we.
I think the reason I can't like this character is because she gives...
Too close to you?
No, not at all. Every second
Charlotte's
look
not a
she
milk.
gives is a come hither. Look at that right there. Come
Yeah,
hither.
but,
Kiss me again. Touch
I don't
me.
even remember
all this
that
sort of thing.
scene.
She's
Punch
just
me.
screaming for it, and it's like...
That sounds so
I don't know.
bad, Beck, but I'm
just-
so
it
glad
seems
that
really
you're saying
unprofessional.
it, because if Beck, I completely agree with you. And the reason why I haven't brought that up is because I think if I said it as a man, it would come across very creepy. But you get to say it, and I get to be like, I agree, because I have a feeling that she always has this come hither look. Also, what is it with people's lips in this movie? Everyone has funny looking lips.
Yes! Okay. Really
Like, she
thin,
has funny lips.
Really, like, pouty...
Lippy, Botoxy, whatever.
pouty, Botoxy. And then Vanessa Hudgens is like, hey, what up? I read out of the same book as Angelina Jolie as far as lips go.
Yeah, and I've got like the Cheshire Cat grin, and
Yeah.
then Caterpillar Lips from the band just has fucking caterpillars on his lips. Like,
Yeah.
I can't get over it.
So,
Caterpillar lips, also, when he smiles, you can see every single one of his teeth.
And that's a good thing, because I want to see what he had for lunch.
Do most people find, like, lips attractive?
Sometimes, some lips can be really attractive. Yeah, like, you know,
Oh,
people...
I don't know. Only in the right light and in the right mood, I think.
Yeah.
Lips are lips.
Lips are lips. I mean, lips on the face or anywhere else are lips.
Why?
Hey,
Why?
do you think her
you went
lips...
there.
Do you think her lips match her other lips?
Oh, right!
Uncle Wyatt, I thought people only have one lips. Where's the other one?
Men only have one set of lips.
So this podcast is officially M-rated.
Oh, it's always... I said cunt before, so...
Did? Okay,
Well, we said it a few times in the Kangaroo Jack.
Wait, is he wearing knee-high
He's
socks?
wearing knee-high diamond patterned socks.
You can't see anyone's leg skin.
Cello Girl is a classic, you know,
Cello Girl.
strings musician with a jeans and turtleneck and short haircut.
I didn't realize he was wearing fucking knee-high patterned socks. That's the good thing about watching movies again.
Ryan,
You
don't make
notice
fun
the
of him.
things.
He's actually in high school.
Wait a moment.
What?
Is he going to be Spider-Man? Because on his guitar strap, he has spiders all over it. And we already mentioned J.K. Simmons and Miles Teller. Oh my god.
And is it Omar, the Asian English
Yeah.
talking guy? He's wearing like red Mick Jagger, red kind of velvety looking jeans.
So, oh my god, this is the new Spider-Man movie with Marvel. And she's like, you know, the Asian girl. She's, you know, she's Green Goblin. They wanted to mix it up. Oh, this is the scene I was talking about. Like, they're just playing music, everything's going great, and then this scene happens, and it's like, I get it. Life can be very abrupt and dramatic sometimes, but in films, see, that's the difference between films and life. Films flow together. Like, you know, even the artiest of films have a flow. This kind of stopped flowing and just went, breaks, let's have a death moment now.
And I think I don't want to say it like this, but I can't think of any other way
Just
to
do
say
it.
it.
Do it!
I think they did it wrong. A class is not cancelled because one student's father passed away.
Well-
that student just doesn't show up.
Well, no, she's the... See, she's like the student teacher
Oh,
for the
yeah, that's
daycare
true.
thing, so they probably... But why can't he fucking teach?
Exactly.
'Cause
Why
he's
didn't
tired,
they ring him and
Ryan.
say,
He's sleepy.
See, look, who's the guy comforting her?
Band.
The boyfriend guy, like the ex-boyfriend,
Like
the bully.
The first 6 lines that they exchange are pretty awkward.
Yeah, this scene.
Like, I actually had to pause the film and tell my best friend about
Is that
it.
the... No, he's where I go, is that the teacher? Or is that just a random woman?
that was the teacher for sure.
I think the teacher's her mum.
Or, like, a auntie.
Auntie teacher.
Or lover. I mean, auntie.
Auntie teacher. So, yeah, so this is the powerful scene in which, you know, it's revealed
Her
that...
pixie dust gets washed away.
It's actually looking, I think it's the blue house and the flowers and stuff. It's looking very Wes Anderson right now.
Yeah, I agree. If Wes Anderson directed this sequence, I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be
I'm getting a
surprised.
very Gwyneth Paltrow in Royal Tenenbaumsy feel
Yeah,
right now.
yeah, that's good. That's true. And then Bill Murray just walks in just for no
Yeah,
reason. How good
alright.
would that be?
Is
Bill.
anything wrong?
And then Adrian
Yeah.
Brody's on a bicycle in the background.
Yeah. Owen Wilson's like crashing a car into the front of the house. or
Owen
something.
Wilson's like the dad that died.
Oh!
And they go to the funeral, and it's him in the coffin, and then he sits up, and everyone's like shocked, and he goes, "Oh wow," and smiles, and then you're like,
I can't wait till we finally do an Owen Wilson movie.
Is there everything like
"Is there any Owen Wilson movie that we can do?" Because everyone loves You, Me, and Dupree.
I saw that on a plane.
Everyone loves.
Owen
Wait.
Wilson movie you can
Does Owen Wilson only do movies with like an E sound at the end, like You, Me, and Dupree, Marley and Me,
Zoolander.
Zoolandia?
The Darjeeling.
You know, The Haunting.
Was he in Wedding Crashers?
Yes.
Yeah, he was the guy.
Yeah, and I just...
Too bad we'll never do
I
that
remember
movie.
Vince Vaughn and some guy.
The only movie with Owen Wilson that we could possibly do is
Wasn't there like a remake to a horror movie that he was in?
The Haunting. I said
Yeah.
that. The only one I can think of Owen Wilson that we could do is what's that one where it was him and Vince Vaughn worked at Google?
Oh, that was like 2 years ago.
Oh, the
Intern.
Yeah, I think we could
I
do
was
that.
at the interview.
the internship.
Yeah, the internship. Yeah.
Isn't it just the intern?
No, it's the internship because they're both doing it.
I don't care.
Okay.
We might do that, but like Owen Wilson's such a good actor. He could have been playing her because they're both blonde.
Yeah, my father died.
Can I ask something? Is it me or what happened?
Want to know why?
What the fuck happened to Owen Wilson's
when my
nose?
dad got sick, Like, you can hear him saying this.
He was like,
I promise God.
the universe? Wow.
Like, it's a secret.
My favorite thing
He was
ever.
in the
Gotta say it
Night
like
Museum.
It's a secret.
Yeah, and then he's always surprised, like, better. Nicer.
Nice.
My favorite thing ever is the new Star Wars movies. Like, it would have been improved if Owen Wilson was a Jedi. It's like Owen Wilson turns on his lightsaber. Oh, wow.
Oh, wow.
Have you seen the Robot Chicken sketch that makes fun of him and Jerry?
No.
Oh, well, it's funny.
Who's
Speaking
which
of
Jerry?
chickens, you guys should do chicken.
What's his last
Run.
name?
Chicken Run's an
That's the
appreciated
one.
movie.
Yeah, you're right, it is.
Jerry.
Seinfeld?
Freaking Frank Costanza's son. What's his last name?
Jerry Stiller.
Yeah, Jerry Stiller.
Ben
Ben
Stiller's
Stiller!
the dad.
Not Jerry Stiller, Ben Stiller.
Frank Costanza's son. Costanza!
Jerry.
So, can I just pull back for a moment?
Gone
During
way
this
out.
emotional scene in which he's pouring his heart out and she's pouring it out too,
And it's still going.
we're talking about fucking joy.
Owen Wilson and Jerry Stiller, who's Ben Stiller.
And okay, this
Oh,
is
Oh,
she
she
called
called
him
him
Dewey.
Dewey.
Here we go.
okay.
Where's
Honestly,
Donald Duck?
honestly, that would break my fucking heart if the girl that I thought was my best friend made the insult that everyone else uses. How fucked is it?
What kind of reflex does she have that she would call him Dewey?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, she's trying to get his attention because he was walking away.
No, fuck you. Fuck you, bitch. I would end movie there. Like, it's him going, I realise that leopards don't change their spots. And
Or
then that-
cheerleaders either.
Yeah, as a leopard.
Or
I take offense.
Wikipedia page owners.
Yeah, and my god, okay. Do you think...
Jeez, her brothers have a lot of toys. What a mess.
Yeah. Do you honestly think that bullies from high school, your high school or any high school, would actually use bully a kid whose dad killed another kid and died incidentally himself in a DUI?
Kids are
Like, do you-
mean, but I don't know
High
what that
school
means.
kids,
That's
do you
enough-
think
Oh,
they would
sorry.
actually go around nicknaming someone Dewey, as in drinking under the influence, and who killed a kid and himself, and this kid is like, you know, no longer has a dad, and is like everything else? Do you think people... That was the hardest part of watching this movie, was thinking, would people actually do it? Like, wouldn't people have taste? And I got into a bitter argument with my household. Half of us were like, no, I think it's a bit too far, and then the other half were like, no, it's spot on. And it's a good thing about this movie. It's like a tether rope, you know. It's like pulling a rope. Like, one side's pulling the other, one like tug of war. That's this movie, tug of war.
And freaking...
That's what high school is, isn't
Yeah,
it?
and freaking Ben, like, we say that he's a stand-up guy at points, but he did spread that around.
Yeah, yeah. Even though he's a stand-up guy, he's still an asshole.
Also, another thing.
Like Icarus.
Manipulative.
Now, Dewey, it comes from that acronym. You said driving under influence, DUI, but they said DWI, driving while intoxicated.
Yeah.
Do they just have the same thing with two different
Yeah, I think
acronyms?
it's different.
Because they use the
But this
DWI
isn't-
one.
Under the influence
This
is
isn't-
inclusive of drugs. Intoxicated is just...
Oh, and he was
This-
a drummer, so he would
This
do
is also
drugs.
during 2009, so who knows? It might have been different. Okay, this is fucking... Okay,
Oh shit, I was wrong.
okay, guys. I always write notes. Every time I write notes. But Bartek may notice, my notes significantly are shorter because this scene broke me with writing notes. I just...
Are they shorter?
Yeah, they're shorter. It just ends. This scene
Oh, it
broke...
does.
This scene broke me because she's talking about free will and her hand and shit.
Well, he's not in prison. He's right next to her.
And her hand and shit, and he just like is just not saying anything. And this scene where she's like going all acid trippy conversation, I just got my notes and threw them on the ground and went, I don't need them anymore because this scene gets me.
This is
so
another
bad.
part where I paused the
This
movie and
is
told
why
my
you-
best friend.
This
Yeah.
is why you don't have friends. This is ridiculous. This is so funny.
This movie is a masterpiece.
It's an unappreciated masterpiece. You got it right.
So
Bartek.
angsty right now.
Yeah. So yeah, this is a scene that made me go, I'm no longer going to write notes for this movie anymore, because that scene was so existential crisisy that it made me go, you know what? No more notes.
This main character,
Yeah, Milestone.
I feel like he could be, you know, the guy that plays Mark Zuckerberg in
Jesse Eisenberg.
Jesse Eisenberg. Yeah. I feel like
Yeah.
it could be his little brother.
Well, that's what I said. Like Miles
yeah.
Teller, Michael Cera, Jesse
they
Eisenberg
must all be cousins or something.
had a kid. you know, the guy who played, Quicksilver in the X-Men movie.
Yeah. Yes.
Who's kick-ass. They all are white guys with afro hairs and lacking chins.
Yeah.
And, you know, I've seen this theory of... Have you seen this theory online where it's like, is Michael Cera always playing the same character in each movie? Like, in A Giant Story, he's like a guy who's like quantum leaping where he wakes up in a different situation.
Yeah.
And he doesn't know who he is, and he has to quickly figure out who Ellen Page is in Juno, and quickly figure out what the situation is, and then adapt to it like Michael Cera.
What would they say about This Is the End, where he played Michael Cera?
Yeah. They talk about like, and on the odd occasion he gets to play himself, and he doesn't know who he is anymore.
He was really funny in that movie. I'm ashamed that he wasn't in all of it.
Well, it's because you got to have the best of us. What the fuck is with the band name? I hate it so much.
Their name?
Yeah, I can't go on.
It's like the end of some poem that
I can't go on. I'll go on. It's like
I think that is it. He like read. There's a poem, and that's like the last line, or it's the last line of a song, and he just took it and he said it'd make an impact. And it's
why
a
don't they
great
call
name.
it Dewey?
The band.
Yeah.
Oh nah.
I
Sore
would.
spot. Too soon.
Yeah, Dad's still got the kid on the bumper. I mean, Jesus, right?
Oh, Ryan's dark.
Ryan, make like the sign.
Now this scene is intense. It's where the mother
showing the sign.
pleads not for her to be a bitch, and what does she do?
Yeah, quiet.
He's a bitch. Yeah.
Quiet. It's a reference to the character from Metal Gear Solid 5.
What? What?
Oh wow, here it comes.
Here it comes. This is Phoebe acting. Like, you know how Phoebe sometimes would act in Friends? Like when she was an extra in movies and shit? This is actually Phoebe in a movie now, not like Lisa Kudrow. This is Phoebe where she's like, 12 years old. He walks up to Dennis up and his parents and asks their forgiveness. That's acting. Beck, Bartek and I did the degree in drama, and obviously we are qualified enough to notice other actors and their talents. And, you know, I'm saying right now, you know, best actress I've ever seen in a movie. Yeah,
Amanda
definitely.
Bynes.
Survivor was very acty earlier.
Yeah, Vanessa Hudgens.
When the bit, there's a few times where they're walking down the corridor and she's doing a little looks off into the corners.
She's like, oh, I'm a girl. I look off into the corner. I'm depressed.
Is she depressed or is she like faking depressed?
Well, she
or-
doesn't even have emotion, so she can't even be depressed.
Except when
But
she
is.
smiles at videos of herself.
Yeah.
Sorry, cardboard cutouts of herself.
Yeah, but it's still a video of a cardboard cutout of her.
Really, really deep.
This movie's as deep as it can get. Like,
Shit, we're tongue-tied over this one.
Tongue Tied is the name of the movie deep down. I kept writing...
Tongue-tied is our band name.
Yeah, Tongue Tied. Yeah. So this movie is about change. It's about the change from being a bit selfish to even more selfish. For fuck's sake, there's a bit later on coming up soon where they have to come up with a new song. And they're like, stall. So what do? They just go out there on the stage, guy who doesn't even play an instrument or sing.
They're like violently thrust in.
And it's
almost.
just like, what's he gonna do?
It's like throwing him to the vultures, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's like, come on, they know
It's a
you're
really
Dewey.
like Colosseum, chuck the guy out there for the lions to munch type
Thunderdome.
thing. Yeah, it's Thunderdome.
I didn't realize this was Mad Max.
Nominated for Best Picture, yay.
Yeah, Thunderdome did deserve that. It's so funny. Before Fury Road, Thunderdome was the most quoted Mad Max movie.
Yeah.
Like,
sure.
by extension, the most popular.
Hold on a
Two
second.
men enter.
People quote
one
Fury
man
Road?
leaves.
Yeah.
What do they quote?
They have a lovely day. What a lovely day. That's like the tagline of the movie. But then you have the classic ones like Immortan Joe, where he's just like mediocre. And you gotta have the classic where it's like, yeah, eats Schlanger.
Okay.
Yeah, people quote Mad Max Fury Road.
I haven't seen Fury Road.
What the freaking hell?
I saw it in Poland.
Was it in Polish?
The subtitles were.
But Tom Hardy wasn't.
No. Tom Hardy.
I mean, I often quote Mad Max.
Tom Hardy
Fury
also
Road.
nominated for Best Supporting Role.
Yeah, but not for Mad Max.
Yeah,
'cause he was
for
lead.
for the DiCaprio film I saw. Revenant.
Oh, was he in it? Cool.
Yeah, he played the villain.
Oh, big shock. Tom Hardy playing a
The
villain.
Revenant was very much like Cannibal the Musical, but less musical.
And more Cannibal.
No, actually less Cannibal.
So not even Cannibal the Musical. Talking about musicals, this is going to have a musical sequence. What would you class this, like...
Wiki listed it as a musical.
Yeah,
didn't
Wiki
it?
listed as a
And IMDb.
teen romantic comedy musical. That's what Wikipedia said. And she's on Wikipedia,
That's just
so...
because it's got a couple Disney kids singing in it.
Is it also a coming-of-age story?
Is it?
Coming of age.
I don't know, man. No one learns much. Like, he gets social, but...
Dude, when I came of age, I didn't learn much.
I feel like I still haven't come of age.
Yeah, I mean, for those who
But that's
don't know...
being a 20-something, isn't
For those who don't know Beck, she does look about 11 years old.
Thanks, guys.
So, yeah, 11 years old, but a very annoyed 11-year-old. Like, just like, who the hell?
An 11-year-old who's done with this shit.
Yeah, who's just like, I don't want to grow up, but I have. I'm still 11 years old.
I would love to see Beck, like, cast in a big movie as, like, a child, even though...
Yeah, I think so. Like, here it is, Tom Hardy's daughter, Bek Schroder.
Tom Hardy's
I
daughter.
could do it. I reckon I could do it.
I reckon so. Check out Beck's work in the upcoming film Mad Max 5.
So, apparently...
Tom Hardy's daughter.
So, apparently, apart from, the antagonist's band and the hero's band, or main character's band, apparently all these are real bands from Texas.
I'm not surprised.
Right.
I'm not surprised
I'm not
at
trying
all.
to surprise you, I'm just giving facts.
Bartek, stop trying to surprise me.
Ryan, I'm a man!
Your man's got to do what a man's got to do.
Mm-hmm.
So
Amanda.
that roadie guy or whatever, the guy on the side stage, is so rude.
Who? The guy managing or whatever?
Yeah, like the guy who's like
Oh,
on the
yeah.
wings of the stage. He's so
This
rude.
Ben Wheatley character,
He's the
Paul
best.
Walker-looking guy,
Yeah.
about to play for us. How exciting.
And I'm excited.
Ben
Ben Wheatley and the Glory Dogs.
Ben-
Sounds like
He's got a yeast infection.
Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers. It sounds like
Yeah, they did mention Tom.
They did.
They did, and that's Beck. You are Beck. Out of all the guests we've had, you're fucking spot on
Do
with
you know what?
all
Do
these
you know what,
observations.
listeners, I'm gonna admit something to you here. I'll tell you a secret. I haven't actually seen this movie before today.
Yep, Beck's watching it for the first time right now, and she's made wise observations that I have, and I've watched it 3 times.
Well,
Well, I don't know if you could count that arty one as.
I will, because it was an
time.
hour and 51 minutes.
Yeah, alright. That's an hour and 51 minutes out of your life. It
So
can be
Beck's seen it
counted.
once, I've seen it twice, and you see it 3 times.
Once, twice, 3 times a
I
lady.
haven't even seen it. What?
Well, this is the once.
Well, we're counting this
Seen
one
it.
as a
So
second.
see,
Three
look,
quarters so far.
it's all Ben knew it. He probably thought he was doing something nice for me. Like, see what I mean? Like, he thinks he's doing a nice thing for her. Like, he thinks that
He's-
this is really
no,
sweet.
Fred.
And
He's
you know
being
what?
selfish and trying to get the girl back and not considering about 11 other people who make up a whole band.
Yeah, but in all fairness, you know.
Oh shit, we weren't paying attention to if he said he wrote it or
Yeah,
not.
in all fairness though, he didn't know that they were going to perform the
That
song.
was a very valid point there too. It's a famous song and it only has like 4 chords.
Oh no! The
Or
song
is
that
that-
they're
oh,
gonna
that's-
do
yeah, okay.
is like we're gonna do a famous song and it only has 4 chords.
Here's the
So
scene you were
that's-
talking about.
So let's do something really easy because we're
So
freaking
now let's
out.
spend the next 20 minutes figuring out what to do.
Never mind that they probably would have done this song that Ben What's His Face and the Something Dogs are doing now.
Glory.
They probably would do it better.
Yeah, probably because they got good musicians.
Well,
but
they've got a brass section. I mean, hello.
hello, by Cat Empire, who also have a brass section.
They do.
No, they have a brass section. Look, they have saxophone.
Yeah.
So,
Well, that's yeah okay.
Holy
But
shit.
These guys have a cello.
oh fuck, they got a cello.
Do you
Ooh.
know? Just a little side note on the cello. Apparently, it is the closest instrument to a human voice.
Really? I thought you were gonna say. Bartek.
I can fit inside one. That too.
No,
What?
Bartek. I thought go with me. I thought she was gonna be like, did you know the human cello is the closest instrument to my genitals? Just like because
Why would I say that? You would say
I
that. I
don't-
wouldn't.
No, I really don't get it. What?
because you put the cello between your legs,
Uh-huh.
heads is close to your genitals.
Oh, okay. Yeah, all right.
Like
I get
I
it.
get
the
it.
cello is close to your the instrument closest to your genitals.
goes.
I don't
Look
get
how
it.
they pushed him in there just
You
then.
do, and you're
The
lying.
girl that's
What
meant
about
to
the
like
drums?
him. The girl
The
that
drums
was his
aren't
first
anywhere
kiss
near.
What
with.
about bongos? They're on your lap.
Bongos, yes. But you don't have a giant
Vibrating
wooden
bongos.
thing. But that doesn't spread your legs.
Do you like bongos?
Yeah,
Ryan?
it does. You sit it between your knees.
Yeah, but it's not like spreading your
Oh
legs
yeah,
like a
like
cello.
the one tall
Anyway,
bongo.
look. They're
Anyway.
about to start screaming at him.
Oh my god. I
Do
can't believe that
it.
people would actually do this. Like, that's the part. This is the part. Okay, I would be okay.
People are dicks.
Like, oh my god. Like,
Yeah.
I would be not. How did the school or anyone not shut this shit down?
in this scene, I really felt for the mum.
Oh, I felt for
Yeah.
her too, because you gotta
Because,
consider
like,
it's her
if
husband.
she would yell, but like if she did, then she would like embarrass her son.
And herself.
So it's like, what do you do?
It's a Greek tragedy, this one is. An absolute Greek tragedy.
And he's Oedipus.
And she's Icarus. Because she flew too close to the sun. And now she looks like she's burnt her
And now
face.
that she's not near the sun, she's sad.
Dewey. What a bunch of assholes. And that's what I love about this movie. It shows the real world. Is everyone an asshole?
See, this is the
everyone
part.
an asshole?
This is the part where he needs to break out into the Napoleon Dynamite dance.
Yeah, you think that's gonna happen, but
He's got
instead,
the hair for it.
I thought he was just gonna grab out a pistol and start fucking massacring
Oh
everybody.
my god.
Am I right?
Yeah, or like a
This-
crossbow, like
you know-
that. What's that Tilda Swinton movie? We need
Hey,
to
we
talk
need to talk about
Kevin.
Kevin. That's a good movie.
Yeah, it would have been good if we joked about it, but if like he actually was a vampire, then he could do something cool here.
No, I think he's the guy. If you pushed him like they are, he would just high school massacre the fuck out of you. Like, look at him. Do it, come on. I want to remember this moment when I smear your blood on my face.
His mum's
Come
like,
on.
His mum's like, you betrayed me.
Beck, you're so innocent. You're like, oh my god, Ryan, this is so dark. This is what we usually do on the show. I've come up with so many theories on this show that lead to nowhere other than darkness.
Dude, I haven't said anything racist this episode.
Yeah, Bartek usually is racist in most of our episodes for no apparent reason.
See, I feel like that was a very bold move.
What,
He didn't
the-
know the band was ready yet. Imagine that. Do we wanna rock? And then you gotta wait another 5 minutes because the band is still getting their shit together.
For fuck's
It
sake,
just
how long do you want
doesn't
me to
flow
stall?
like that.
Stall. It's like, alright, I'm gonna just do a wank on the stage.
Just
Jesus.
laughing on the side. Like,
No, that
just
5
keep
minutes
stalling.
could be the bracket for the Napoleon Dynamite dance.
Yeah, I think so. I think that this song sucks, and that Selena Gomez sucks. It's not Selena Gomez. She does suck.
Survive 'em.
Survive 'em.
Sucks. Why does she need a V guitar here? I don't even know. I can't go. I'll go on. Shut up. I hate. This is, you know, that song that they performed earlier, Shyamalan.
Yeah.
That song they should have performed.
Yeah.
That song they should have performed, but instead they performed this, which is, you know,
They should like cut to the song at the end of Wayne's World.
which one?
Ballroom Blitz.
Oh, Ballroom
Oh,
Blitz
for sure.
by
Are you ready?
yeah. Are you ready? Oh yes.
Well, we already made a
Let's
Mike
go.
Myers reference
Yeah.
earlier, so call that.
Yeah. So we could do Halloween now, because that's the
the
killer.
movie?
Yeah, Mike. No, that's Appreciated, but one of the spin-offs.
Oh, okay.
Oh, we could do the Halloween remakes by Rob Zombie.
Has anyone ever made a joke, like, I feel it's a dumb question, but referencing Mike Myers and Michael Myers?
Yes.
You should do Daddy Daycare. Has
Of
that
course.
song in it.
We also talked about Daddy Daycare in our last podcast, Meet Dave, which you can listen to anytime you feel like, and tell all your friends.
Even if we're asleep, you can still listen to it.
Yeah, people listen to our podcast to help them go to sleep,
The
which
thing
I
is-
find very soothing.
The thing is, when you click the play button, we don't just, like, read the script and redo the episode. It's an actual recording.
yeah,
You can
in
listen
case
to
you're
it all
wondering.
as it's going.
This thing, you know, earlier I was saying about, like, if you look at that dog, it's probably dead by now. You don't know what happens if one day we stop putting out material. You could listen back and be like, well,
Listen
this
to
could be a
these
dead man.
guys.
This
They're
could be a
dead by
dead man's
now.
voice.
Oh my
Ryan's
God.
very soothing dead man's voice.
Look, when
That's also a name of a band. Ryan's very soothing dead man's voice.
Oh yeah, look, if Paul Giamatti ever dies, you're not going to re-listen to this podcast and hear us say "rest in peace" every time we bring him up. It's a recording.
Unless I edit it in there retrospectively. Like, oh, we do Big Fat Lie again, and we write down everything we said, but we're going to include rest in peace. And it's like,
The
yeah.
episode will be like 10 minutes longer.
Doesn't matter. Look at her not play the guitar. She's
know.
clearly not, like, who plays it like that? Only women with perfectly curled hair.
Hair and makeup
Beck,
must
do
have
you
had a
ever
nightmare
curl
with
your
their
hair?
Do I ever curl my hair? Yes.
Is it fun? Because I've got
No,
I've got very
it's
natural curly hair.
exhausting. It is exhausting, and usually I give up halfway and just put it up.
What about it is like, oh yeah, I want to curl it? Is it just because it's different, or do you think curls are cool? Because trust me, as someone who has curls, they're not cool.
I work in a shop that sells really, really expensive dresses.
Of course, so you need to have different
on average,
hairstyles.
$350. And I have to wear these dresses while I'm working.
Nice.
And I can't just throw one on and have my usual ponytail and sandals on. Or Converse
not?
sneakers. Because it just doesn't do them justice. And they, my employers want a certain look.
Yeah.
So I have to look very, very fancy and polished.
We're
So
Polish.
often not Polish,
High five.
polished.
Bartek's like, high five, because I missed that one.
Yeah, I have to have, very lovely looking everything.
So
Yeah.
curls are must.
Shoes, high-heeled shoes at work all day.
High heels and curls. So you're pressured to do it. I was born with it, and look, I often get
Maybe he's
Ryan.
born with it.
Maybe
Maybe
it's
she works at a dress shop. Maybe he's born with it.
maybe he's born with it. Maybe it's genetics.
Well, since I'm perfect, I don't have to care.
Yeah, I get the curly hair, and people always come up to me like, Ryan, do you ever cut your hair? Yes. Do you ever brush it? Yes. Do you ever wash it? Yes. Is it natural? Yes.
What? Like you're gonna have little rollers in your hair overnight?
Ryan's
I
real.
can't see you doing that. I'm
Ryan's
sorry.
real hair is like green.
Yeah.
That makes me
green.
think of is it American Hustle where Bradley Cooper's
yeah,
got those
yeah.
little
Yeah,
friggin'
yeah.
hilarious. I love
And-
him with those little curlers in.
I just love Bradley Cooper.
And I love that that one of the characters refers to it as like Amy Adams' character refers to it as like, you've got these rollers in your hair and it's kind of stupid, but I guess it's working for you if you like it or something
Yeah.
like that.
Oh, that movie. And I often get, Ryan, do you ever straighten your hair? It's like, yes, I have. It's like, well, how come you don't do it all the time? Well,
Because
why
who
are you
wants to do
talking to me?
that?
Get away from me. Like,
Do you have any photos of you with straight hair?
No, I don't
Mic drop.
usually do it. I
Oh.
usually, if I have it, mostly my photos of me without curly hair when I just gel my hair.
And this
for
song's still going.
Acting. This song just never freaking ends. And the drummer, you remember how the drummer's big
got all
thing?
this pent up,
Yeah.
I want to bang Will's mum going
Yeah.
on there.
Oh, in the end credits, there's a photo, freeze frame photo of him kissing the mum.
Ew.
Is it of the scene where he does it?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh.
In my edited version, we didn't get the scene. But, yeah, so that's that. Oh, whoa. All right. I didn't want to
You
see.
wanted to eat us.
I didn't want to see Jaws.
The
Jeez.
Asian girl, and now she's partying.
Yeah, she. I don't think she said a literal line in this
Way
movie.
to stereotype someone.
I like to stereotype people.
Stereotype.
It's a tape, but it gives good sound.
Yeah.
Like when you go, it's amplified.
I like how the drummer's not in the shot because he's waiting for his cue.
Yeah, he's waiting for the kissy times. What is that face, Vanessa? I often ask
You just
that.
called her the cute lead
Oh
singer.
my
I have to
God.
make
Oh,
it
dude, his
happen.
eyes!
Ah! Someone just kissed Will's mum.
And she's like,
Beck, don't be jealous.
Wow.
it's time to
And
leave.
he's full like, I just passed your mum swagger going on there.
I would.
And now we've
Oh,
got
yeah,
judgy
well, Will's
going
not gonna
on.
hit.
Look, in all fairness, Phoebe from Friends was never the hot one, so...
Oh, no, shh. I want to know who wins. I don't actually know who wins
Oh,
this.
you don't know? Well, it's...
Is it going to be What's It Dogs?
Oh, Beck, this is going to be a live reaction from Beck, everyone, because Beck is on the edge of the
Burning
seat.
hotels.
I actually feel
This
a bit anxious.
is-
My
this is
stomach
a
is tense.
Oh my god, it's some band we
Some
never
band we
heard
didn't even
of.
see. Okay, great. And then, so they're all gutted, but now they're going to get like
Oh.
some second wind, aren't they?
No.
Yeah,
No.
something will
No,
happen.
Beck,
something
no.
will
No, Beck, you haven't seen
They
it.
lost.
They lost, and that's it. Like,
No, like, I
there's
mean,
no
not tonight, but it'll be a couple of days of them being all shitty and
Yeah,
stuff,
yeah,
and then
yeah,
something
yeah.
will happen, sure.
Yeah, you're right. You're completely right, because watch this. This is the bit where I lose my shit, right? Someone has a phone, and you see the recording on their phone, and look at that quality.
It's It's shocking.
It's too good for that kind of phone.
Yeah, that girl. You saw her recording it earlier.
Yeah, at least they get that. Like, forget the days. These guys should have won. Yeah, and they rock so hard. Did they? I thought Glory Dogs were better. And you know who was really good?
You know what?
I really thought Burning Hotel should have won.
You know what? I was like half paying. I actually thought Glory Dogs won.
No, they lost. That's why at the end of this movie, the bully and them are on the same page. Like, they're okay with one another because they both lost in the end.
I needed to pay more attention. Now notice how every single poster has a number in their name.
Forever, Kelly 3.
Super duper cutie.
The Kel 3.
It's because,
everyone's doing that with their names.
Oh, there's a woman at the end who's like, it's a dash. It's
this.
silent. Cute. I told you, the dash is silent.
It's a hyphen.
Yeah. Well, shut up. It's silent. And look at her. She's like, I started that.
At least she's not being like super hipster about it. Like, oh, that was my thing.
Hipsters are the worst thing. And here it is. Let's remember the legend.
Who do you think's watching
the
it?
Man
Who do you think it is? Who do you think it is? Too late. It's him.
Look at him. What a legend. What a man.
In his throne.
In his throne. Oh, he's watching it from above now. Jesus. How depressing.
So apparently Bowie agreed to be in this film because he liked the director's previous film.
Yes, he liked the director's previous film, Camp. And look, here's Bowie. He's talking now. You get Bowie. Here's the best thing. One of the best things about Bowie is he was such a chameleon that he never had an actual voice. And what I mean is, if you listen to Bowie's interviews and just him talking from the 70s, 80s, 90s, everything, he always had different accents. Bowie's accent was never the one accent, so Bowie never actually had like an actual voice. Like, it was always a different accent. So you have younger Bowie as more of a Cockney, and then you have like middle-aged Bowie is more like, you know, upper class, and then you have this Bowie where there's a little bit of both. And look, there's a reference to the Lodger. Oh, Beck mentioned that before. On fucking point. Oh, this is a bit sexual.
Yeah, she's come hithering with her tassel.
And then it just cuts away.
Just
Beck, women often come hither with tassels.
Tassel or whatever that
Titty
is.
tassels.
Why should you make fun of them?
Because they're the couple. That's cute.
It's her gradation.
I do like how she was.
Oh, look, it's Ben.
And look, they're back together for no apparent reason.
Because her dad's passed away, so his opinion doesn't count anymore.
Yeah. And here's a question: if your ex-boyfriend did all that shit, Beck, would you get back together with him?
No, I'd probably...
Like, if he made your friend get really embarrassed with the whole Dewey thing, would you even talk to him again?
I'd probably get a, what are they called?
Restraining
order.
Yeah, I'd be like, get out of my car, you freak. It is so weird.
You guys are weird.
It is so weird, the relationship that was had, because it was kind of a love triangle, not love triangle, because it was like, Vanessa Hudgens was worried, the other chick didn't really care too much, and he was just a typical dude where he didn't notice that he felt things, because dudes don't really know how to feel. And that was it.
Wow.
What do we think? Beck?
Oh, I'm enjoying these little drawings and things.
Yeah. They set that up earlier in the film.
Don't it blow your mind?
It blew my mind straight off my pants.
Is that because boys think with their penises?
Yeah, you got me.
Okay.
And there was that kiss before.
What do I think?
Yeah. So that was the Bandslam.
I think it was better than Camp Rock.
Oh yeah.
Which was Selena Gomez, I think.
Yeah. We're never going to do Camp Rock on this show, in case you're worrying, because that's a TV movie. We want real movies. I know some people have said, oh, but Ryan, High School Musical 1 and 2 are TV movies. Can't you do them? Hey, for one, people like those movies. 2, TV movies are lesser. You expect less.
Yeah.
So there's more of a chance of there to be unappreciated works in that field, because who really takes TV movies seriously? Like, Beck, Bartek, what's your favourite TV movie?
Favorite TV movie? I don't actually know.
Exactly. You can't just go like that. They're lesser known. No one cares because they're usually lower quality than an actual film.
So this movie flopped.
It did flop. Unfortunately, Bowie's charisma couldn't save it from the critics.
Bowie's acting
is superb.
Yes.
So
there was a little bit there where he typed in, "I really like your band name," and then it cuts to him nodding like, "Yeah, I really do." And that was kind of cute.
Yeah, I believe that Bowie.
Did you
really
hear that, guys?
like
Beck thought that his acting was cute. We didn't even have the sound on.
Yeah, she didn't even get to hear his voice, and she thought it was the cutest. So that was Bandslam, 2009, guys. So
7 years ago.
7 years
So
ago.
this is the part in which we start to give our own reviews and
Dedicated
our
to
own,
Jerry Graff, my dad.
yeah, to his daddy,
Oh,
to his
cute.
daddy.
Will
So-
gets third billing.
Yeah, so we are now going to talk about it ourselves, give our own review, and give our own rating of what we thought about it. So, to mix it up, Bartek, why don't you go first?
Why me first?
Because I want to mix it up.
Well,
Buzz,
why don't
give-
you go first?
No,
But you said you want to mix it up.
because last time I went first.
What? Did you?
Because Reese was so confident that he
I
had
don't-
such a good one.
All right, shut up, you two. I don't have a lot to say. I'm going first because you two can't decide. I don't
I
have a
did
lot
decide.
to say, and there's like what I'm about to say. We already said a fair bit, but
That's okay.
it's like the style of the film. They tried to do like a Juno type thing with the little illustrations in there and the little things like how she had a number in her name, how
Yeah.
she'd had a stutter before, the dog, this, that, just, the dog with the laxatives, stuff like that. Little sort of tiny little mini plot lines that just went nowhere and disappeared
Yeah.
into nothingness.
Did the Big Lebowski
Whereas
do
with movies like Juno, what they seem to have tried to do, they kind of did
Yeah.
achieve that. So I don't know if that was like an idea that never got finished in time, or
You think there's a
I think-
director's cut waiting?
yeah, maybe, I don't know. It's
If-
probably on the floor of some.
So
room
you
somewhere.
love this movie though?
Without the sound on, like even without the sound, obviously I want to go home and watch it with the sound now.
Yeah.
But even without the sound, I thought it was not bad.
Not bad.
Not bad
Not
at
bad.
all.
Is that your rating?
My
Not bad.
rating is not bad out of 5. Yeah.
Not bad at all.
It was 3 out of 5 Zupa Dupas. That's my score.
Whoa, that's a lot of Super
Space lime
Dupas.
flavour.
Whoa, that's like the best.
It's-
Bartek,
Bartek, that's me.
let's hear what you have to say. I know you're waiting. You're pressed, ready to go.
Yeah, man, this movie was quite the drive. I know I say that just as I saw the word cars, but trust me,
There's no bum equipment in this one.
I forgot about bum equipment. It really was a ride. I know I just said that, but there were so many points in this movie where, you know, I just had to pause it and ponder what just happened. And I need to tell a friend about it who, you know, doesn't really have much context for it apart from me saying what the movie is and reading on Wikipedia and asking, is there really a character named Survivum? And yes,
Yeah, it's emotional.
yeah, man, there is Survivum. She's cute, especially when she smiles.
Is that you?
Sorry?
I'm like, is that your review? She's cute when she smiles. 5 out of 5.
Yeah, man, I'm talking about Will, alright? The main character, Will, we just mentioned, he's different from a lot of our main characters that we see on this show because, you know, we have
Frankie Muniz.
Frankie Muniz and Matthew Broderick, whatever his character's name was.
JTT, yeah.
Yeah, JTT. They had really confident personalities. Thunderpants, we had a kid who was very often bullied, but like always pushing on. Then we have a bunch of movies where the adults are main characters, and they range from quirky and you know those kind of characters. Bandit like Beckham, kind of more of a realistic character.
Yeah.
This movie, we have probably the most realistic awkward character.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, he's not super awkward to the extent
Yeah.
of like, oh, what's his problem? But he's like legitimately awkward. Like he's obsessed with this one thing, but he's not like confident enough
It
to talk about
reminded
it to
me
people.
of Perks of Being a Wallflower, that main character.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Mentioned
So-
it.
It's just realistically awkward for a teenager.
Yeah, and it really showed an element of real life that we don't really see in most movies, like pretty much every single one I mentioned, which had like glorified kind of personalities of quirky
Yeah.
people. This one, we have a realistic one, and it's one that we can see in ourselves. And the things that he goes through are things that we can see in our own lives.
Yeah.
Like death. Death was a huge thing, and
Death.
you know, family members who go through tragedy. Like, what would you say that the car accident was? Tragedy.
Tragedy.
Yeah.
And how
Comedy.
how it
no.
affects-
There's a lot of grief and shame in that as well, with the whole car accident thing. And that's a lot for people to deal with
Yeah,
at
and
that age.
And hold on, where was I going with this?
Yeah, that's a question I often ask with your reviews.
Yeah, 'cause you guys interrupted me. Tragedies, and just pushing on and finding friends to help him move on. And, you know, in the end, it's not like much has really changed in his life. He's got a girlfriend. He had that halfway through the movie.
That's it, yeah.
But he's moving on, and he's really happy, and we can all find a little bit of ourselves in this.
Yeah.
So after this heartfelt review, I give this movie a holy shit, that was wacky out of woohoo!
That was good.
Ryan, it's your turn.
Okay, I have a lot to say. Not as much as that. I'm going to focus more on the fact that this movie really did amplify the central theme, which was change. We saw the characters grow. We saw him, at the start, be an awkward, bullied character who was very surly. He would often make surly remarks, but that faded away. He changed. He evolved into, you know, a special little blossom of a character who treated people as his equals. He fell in love. It was beautiful. You know, being a teenager, change is very essential to that. Being alive, change is essential. And the other characters changed too. They're very complex. This wasn't a strict black and white movie. It isn't the typical movie. Like, you read the synopsis and you think you know where it's going to go. You think you know what the characters are going to be. And when you're introduced to them, you think you know what they're going to be. But it isn't that simple. Down to the mother isn't who I expected her to be. The bully wasn't who I expected him to be at all. That was a main point of mine during this whole entire thing, is the bully was such a complex character. He's probably the most complex character we've done on the show. He's one that, next to Eddie from I'll Be Home for Christmas, multiple layers. And at the end of the day, we chose this one because, of course, David Bowie's passing. And, of course, Bowie's presence is there throughout the movie with all 3 songs of his that they used, one of which they used twice. Because that song is so good that you need to use it twice. The exact same bit of it as well.
Well, yeah, and it fits into the theme you're
On the
talking about.
music, just a little side note. Do you think it was interesting that they had the Nico and the Velvet Underground album on there? Of course, they used the song Femme Fatale because that character, you know, is a bit of a threat.
Yeah.
But other than that song, do you think any of that music had any relevance to the age group of the characters,
no.
or to the film?
Other than, like, the burning hotels and those people, no.
I felt like it was a really interesting choice, a real stretch. When you think about that music and what it sounds like with Nico and his little German accent, the wrap your troubles in dreams, that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
I felt like it was really far removed from any other music in the film.
And in a good way.
Yeah.
And look,
nice
I understand that because, you know, I'm very much into that music scene and was when I was a teenager. I used to work at a community radio station in which I used to play lots of that type of music. So I felt really connected to these characters. And Bowie, of course, we mentioned before, he's all about change. He has a song called Changes. And the fact that Bowie was in this and that this is Bowie's last film brings a tear to my eye on a level, because I have a real attachment to Bowie as not only a musician but as an actor, performer, in general, as an artist. He was quite something, and out of all of the conquests that he did in music, he succeeded very much. And in the movie world and in acting, he did make conquests, but not as much as I would have liked, nor as he would have liked. Acting for him was one of the very difficult things that was very hard for him because people couldn't see past him being David Bowie. Yes, he did play David Bowie in this movie, sure, but the fact that he played himself in his last ever role is quite Bowie. It's just, you know, that's quite a Bowie thing. And I honestly recommend that if you want to ever see Bowie act, obviously the most famous that people love is Jareth the Goblin King in Labyrinth. But my personal favourite, just to give you a recommendation, I think Bowie's best acting role is in The Last Temptation of Christ, in which he's in it for exactly 4 minutes as Pontius Pilate.
Yep.
That's not a joke. He plays the ultimate lawful, neutral, evil kind of guy in that movie, in which it's just the perfect casting choice. If you ever want to see Bowie have a good acting, that's my personal favourite. That or Merry Christmas, Mr. Lawrence. He's very good in that. But yes, this movie is very sad because, I often now will watch it now thinking I've watched it in a weird edited version, but within my heart all along, watching it to not only honor what we do on this show, which is to find those forgotten gems and bring them to you and discover them for ourselves, but also in my heart I was doing it because, well, this is something Bowie was attached to, and it was the last film he was attached to also, and we're never going to have a genius like that around for a very long time.
So he's definitely not in Zoolander 2 then?
Definitely not. I don't think so.
Such a shame.
So I just want to ask, how did they use him in the edited version that you saw?
Oh, no, it's the exact same.
Oh, just the ending?
They never changed him, yeah.
Bowie untouched.
So my review would be...
The rating, you mean?
Yeah, my rating would be, a big slam on band.
I thought you were doing Owen Wilson or something like that.
Oh, wow. So...
I should have done a rating.
You should have. So other people had other thoughts, okay? I went to
the best
IMDb.
part of the episode.
Your favourite part. Other people had other thoughts, and the thoughts were... Look, out of all the movies we've done, this was the one with the shortest amount of reviews.
Oh.
There's only 3 to 4 pages, while films like I'll Be Home for Christmas had 20 pages of reviews.
Wow.
Okay, so...
There is a 10-year gap between.
Yeah.
Yeah. 11 years.
Yeah, it's just interesting. But a lot of people had a lot of things to say, though. Mostly positive. I couldn't find really any negatives. Okay, so a lot of people had a lot of things. This one's a 9-star review. It's called A Masterpiece of the Sort. Written in 2009, which is very essential because you got to consider they just saw the movie. Bandslam. In spite of the irritating Lisa Kudrow's character, in brackets, who screams throughout the whole thing with no reason, in the brackets, is a pure gem of the youth films. Great actors, great director, and good story. Music, superb. The Rock is back.
What?
Wow.
Surviving rap garbage, taking the radio and mind waves all over. Bandslam is simply an irresistible film which must be seen at any cost to be charges with emotions and urban agenda gone long ago. So we all thought. I like this. This is just a sentence on its own. DVD? That's it. That's all they wrote.
This person loved it so much they want to own it and have it in their
But they
home.
didn't.
They loved it so much.
Wait. Can we have the next one, please? Next sentence. Video.
Video.
That's it. Like that's
Could
and
you
then
still
and then
buy videos
this is
back
the
then?
rest of their review. If you haven't seen it yet, rush to your closest DVD rental and you will experience 2 finest hours of high-end entertainment. Some tears too. David Bowie eventually does have an artistic touch himself. Even when selecting of the feature films he will appear in, all compliments to the crew above and below the line. And then they end it with, Dear David, 9 out of 10 stars.
So they loved it so much that they yelled out The Rock.
yeah.
I was like, what? Dwayne Johnson?
They're like, rock as in the music is back.
Okay.
Here's a more negative review. Beck, we obviously sometimes do get the negatives because to understand a masterpiece, especially if it's unappreciated, it's art is subjective.
Yeah.
You know that being an artist.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
You know, you like your art or you don't like your art or people like your art and others don't. It's just how it works. Some people didn't like this as much. This person gave it a 5-star review out of 10. This was written in 2014, so not too long ago.
Right.
This person said this. Oh, their title is A Naive Feel-Good Movie for Teens. The premise of this movie is not extraordinary. I say it's pretty common. The ingredients are: number 1, a boy of an unpopular type who has charisma, understands music, although he doesn't seem to play an instrument, moves to a new town because his mum got a new job. Number 2, a single mum of the teenage boy. Number 3, a girl of the cheerleader type who likes boy number 1. Number 4, another boy of the popular type this time, who used to be the boyfriend of the popular girl number 3, and learns to hate boy number 1. Number 5, a public contest of some sort. In brackets, this is the next paragraph.
I see where this is going.
Wait, this is exactly like the ingredients of The Karate Kid. Remember earlier, guys?
Yeah, the main character has so much charisma, doesn't he?
Except for Mr. Miyagi. That's all.
Oh yeah, actually.
And
Is Mr. Miyagi represented by
He's
the dog who ran
Charlotte.
to get
No.
laxatives?
Mr. Miyagi's
no,
Charlotte.
he's what's his name? The Sphinx. Okay, and number 6, Vanessa Hudgens playing a good girl. I like that's its own ingredient.
Good girl.
Of the lonely type who also happens to like boy number 1. Anyway, this doesn't look or feels nothing like The Karate Kid, despite my comparison. It's basically a teen dramedy, young hopes, young love, friendship. It's enjoyable enough. It has music and some not very good teeny songs. It may attract the younger audience, but this movie is far from deep or interesting. Pretty standard stuff, really. If it's on TV or something, check it out. 5 stars.
I like how he's comparing Will with freaking Daniel's son. Like, he even said
Okay.
boy with charisma.
I like how you included son at the end of that. Like,
I couldn't remember.
Daniel's son. What's his name?
What's his last name? DeLuca?
I don't know. I haven't watched Karate Kid in many years.
Do you think Vanessa Hudgens was pretty much Gabrielle from High School Musical in this movie?
Pretty much.
Except she wasn't new.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lonely and sad and
Yeah.
unsure.
Was she like a veteran to High School Musical in this movie?
She was
It's like,
maybe.
oh, you're the new kid now?
She was a veterinarian. No. This is the next one, called It Was, in all caps, good.
Hey, nice.
Really good.
Oh.
9 out of 10 stars. This was in 2010, so a year after. I am surprised of how much I enjoyed this movie. It was clever. You know how teen movies, especially ones involving kids competing against each other in school-related events, tend to be highly predictable? Mm-hmm. Well, this movie had real unpredictable moments. I mean, real ones. Like when Will is upstage and everyone is chanting his name. This is not a spoiler, don't worry. I like they have to put that there in case.
You mean the thing from near the end where
Yeah.
he overcomes
And
his
they're
trauma?
going, do it.
I didn't know what was going to happen until it happened.
Okay.
I know this might sound kind of lame. It's only a detail, but the fact that they managed to surprise me with it was really something. And the mirror scene. How many people wish they had thought of this for show and tell? And the kissing scene. Ha 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 ha. It was such a long ha ha ha. With the hat and the hair. God, that was funny. I'm still laughing just thinking about it. The only reason I'm giving it a 9 is because one small detail bothered me. How in the world did they come up with the song at the end? It was a little far-fetched, which kind of clashed with the rest of the movie because the rest made sense.
Yeah.
If you've seen the movie, you'll know what I mean. I cried twice. One time because I was touched, and the other time because I was sad. Sorry, I shouldn't laugh at other people's crying. So this is a family movie that is clever, funny, sad, touching. I highly recommend it. I highly recommend it. And this is if you're hanging out with... This is for if you're hanging out with your younger sibling or if you are babysitting a 12-year-old. Not younger than 12, though, because they might not get all the jokes. They will love it, and so will you. That is a 9 out of 10.
Glowing review.
Would a 12-year-old love this?
Yeah, because it's around their age. So the next one is... This is one I think Bartek's going to particularly
Around
like.
their maturity.
Now,
level,
Bartek,
anyway.
spoiler, Bartek, you like puns, don't you?
Maybe, I guess.
Yeah, I think he likes puns. Bartek's a pun guy, when you say.
Oh, he's pretty
Yeah.
funny.
This
if you say
title
so.
is called Bandslam Dunk.
Okay.
And then it's a 9 out of 10 star one. 2014. I have to read it all. Bandslam dunk. Clever, right?
See, that I find really funny.
Then they gave a little nod to their own subject.
Hey, Bartek, was that funny? Yeah, sure,
Clever, right? But I'm serious. This movie is a slam dunk. Almost impossible to resist. People may think that you age out of teen movies, but that is not true. How do you age out of good movies? You don't. I still watch Angus once a year and replay the ending at least 3 times, which begs the question, who's a better movie mum? Kathy Bates in Angus or Lisa Kudrow in Bandslam? That may be impossible to answer. Smiley face.
What's Angus?
I haven't watched it, but I love Bandslam is a put on a show movie that has a climax like a Rocky movie. We've done this show. That is the second movie review where someone's like, the climax is like a Rocky movie, and there's nothing in comparison.
What was the other one?
I think it was just visiting or something.
Surf Ninjas? Because there was a
No.
battle at the end?
No. It was something else. Something else we've done. We have to go back. Someone go back. Find it out. One of them was like, no. Bend It Like Beckham. It was Bend It Like Beckham. It was like very much like Rocky. The cast is dead on. Maybe there is some corn, but corn is important to any balanced diet. I knew that would get Bartek.
Corn?
Yeah, 'cause it's
I knew
corny.
where it was going
It's
to.
corny.
I knew where it was going.
By the way, I just watched Bandslammed and watched the ending 4 times.
Oh, yeah, sure.
9 out of 10 stars. Okay. This one's 2013. Excellent little movie. 7 out of 10. Now, Bartek, this is going to be yours too. Nothing on Bulgarian TV. So I checked out Film 4 on filmmon.com.
Okay, that's a website, yeah.
Yeah. As there was nothing else on the UK channels worth watching, I've avoided Film 4 a lot lately as the titles/write-ups haven't been that inspiring. What a surprise! I started it as the popcorn was popping, half expecting to give it 15 minutes max. However, it was an excellent little movie with excellent direction and acting that kept me enthralled to the end. The main characters were all excellent, particularly Sam, or they wrote in brackets, Survive 'em. That's what they wrote, that's how you pronounce it in case you wondered. But many of the minor characters were really good too, which to a great extent was down to a quiet and pleasantly surprisingly well-written script. I like how they're like, Bulgarian TV.
I like how the whole first paragraph until the very end was like just about their night or something.
Yeah, it's like those people who are like, oh, well, when I was in Bulgaria, because I went to Bulgaria.
The best one ever we done on this
Yeah,
show
there was one
was
like
just
that.
like Thunderpants, where they're like, I had 2 Swiss visitors over, and they loved it. Okay, this is the last one. We're near the end.
Yeah.
Surprisingly good. 10 out of 10.
Oh, well, that's
Okay,
nice.
first off, I'm 13.
Yay! So,
Good for you.
I guess it is for 12-year-olds then. Yeah.
And this is what they said. First off, I'm 13. I don't really watch PG movies. I haven't for years because they are often boring, cheesy, and unrealistic.
Well, excuse me, I'm
And
sorry.
and I like to watch without tearing my head off in frustration. But this
G-films.
movie was absolutely fantastic. I made an account just to review it.
Oh, that's cute.
I know it probably doesn't look like it, but it has Aly and Vanessa in it, and they're good. That should be reason enough. No, and they're usually bad, but that should be reason enough not to watch. The trailer also makes it look like it's incredibly dumb and childish. It is not. The only reason I gave this movie a chance is because I was ridiculously bored and had nothing to do whatsoever, and I am so unbelievably glad that I did. This movie had a lot of substance and meaning, but was also funny and sweet. I'd recommend this movie to anyone, but mostly teens. It addresses issues and voices thoughts that we are afraid to admit ourselves, like being told to partner up in class. Who hasn't thought who's who hasn't sat there hoping against hope that you would be picked? Not only... My screen went dead. Not only is the movie good in general, it has great music choice. None of that new pop rock trash that they show on Disney Channel.
Oh my goodness, this 13-year-old is hilarious.
Basically, here it is. Basically, my point is, give this movie a chance. 10 out of 10. Now, Bartek,
Yeah.
Beck, there were a lot of reviews I could have picked from.
Mm-hmm.
Those were the ones I picked. They were simple to the point, but there was one I would like to mention. I just didn't choose it because in the end it was boring. But I like to on purposely read the typos and grammatical errors and all that because critics come across, even in these ones, as a little bit arrogant because sometimes they like to take the high horse. So it's always funny to say their errors. But there was one that was perfect. That was at the end of each sentence.
Yeah.
It ended with a question mark. So every single thing was...
So it was basically...
I really like
read it
this...
in an Australian accent.
Yeah. So it was like, I really like this movie. I really like this movie. It was really good. The actors were in the movie and they did a fantastic job. Everything was like, I don't know. And then at the end they're like, I give it 10 stars. And I just would like to mention that one as a good contender. Well, guys, this has been a wonderful, joyful experience. Bartek,
Yes.
did you have fun?
Yeah, I think I did.
Yeah.
Sorry, I think I did.
Yeah, I think I did. And Beck, did you have fun?
I did.
Considering you never watched the movie till now.
Yeah, I thought it would be very difficult watching the movie without any sound.
But we kept
just
spoiling it,
subtitles.
so...
And
I'd
read the synopsis. So
I
that's
was
okay.
worried because Beck told me before that she hadn't watched it, but she read the synopsis. I'm like, oh, okay, I'm a bit worried. And then she's fucking spewing out points that are even better than mine or yours, Bartek, or, you know.
Speak for yourself.
Yeah, speak for me. Yeah, so, well, that's been Bandslam. Oh boy. Bandslam. So we'll be back, obviously, with our next unappreciated masterpiece, Gem. And, Bartek,
Yes.
I'm just going to slightly tease out that
Yeah.
next month we're going to be doing a really special little thing. Not going to say what.
There's a theme.
There's going to be a theme for next month's series of movies. There's going to be a special kind of marathon of different of movies with a certain thing in common, but
There's a hint.
a hint?
It was in this movie we watched at one point.
Yep, and that's all you're gonna get. So stay tuned for that. Yes, you've been wonderful, great, fantastic listening people. Beck, it's been a pleasure to have you on the show.
It's been a pleasure to be here.
Yes! Like all the social medias that we've got up there, you know, Facebook, we've got iTunes obviously up there too, and all of that wonderful good stuff. You know, if you feel like you want to contact us, feel free to do that too, because we're always here to spit and polish to you guys. Bartek, until the next time we meet on this dark, misty road that is forgotten cinema, have a wonderful time.
I think Daniel Son's last name was DeRusso.
Yes. Dorito? Dorito?
DeRusso, I think.
You guys have been fantastic, wonderful listening people. Till next time, see you later.
Bye.